Thanks for the vote of confidence. There we are. I was muted the whole time. I was saying such profound things, and you missed it. Things like poetry that can never be spoken again. Nice to see you all. I haven't streamed in a while. I think last time I streamed, I said I would try and do it more often, and that didn't work out. But it is what it is. But here we are. Thank you all for being here. Let me see if I can put this. I have the chat there, and the camera's there. At the moment, because I'm not in the game, I can see you here too. So when I'm in the game, it's a little bit like, who said what? And welcome all first timers who are here for the first time. Thank you all for being here. Really nice to see you all. And thank you for all the subscriptions. I haven't shouted anyone out, but thank you everyone for those. And yeah, I'm sitting here with I'm in the process of organizing my office to make it a bit more, shall we say, streamery. But we haven't finished, so I'll show you around another time. But I'm sitting here with my Come On Little Fire mug. I don't know if you've seen this one. It looks like this. Right. So when you pour hot water in it, this disappears. It's pretty cool. If you don't have hot water in it or coffee, then it's just a black mug. This is actually I don't know if you can get it anymore, but this is from Kimiota. I'm sure most of you know Kimiota. He's like the god of TLD. And years ago, this must be 4 years ago, maybe more, he had a raffle and he gave away 3 of these. And when it was 5 minutes left of the stream, when I was going to give away the last one, I happened to just come on. I was like, well, hey, Kimmy. Oh, hey, Zach. Do you want to join the raffle? Yeah, sure. And I won it. So I don't know if he sells anymore, but it's very cool. You want to see the Hintland mug? Yeah, we got that one here. That's this one. I don't use it very often. It's mostly on display. Put it in front of my face. And here's that side. This one wasn't bought. It was given to me by Hintland. That was nice of them. That's when I reached 10,000 subs. That was maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Must be 2 years ago, I think. I'm not sure. And there's one thing I wanted to show though before we do anything else. Sorry, I'm not responding to everything because it says a lot of chat. Actually, let me make this a bit bigger. That's better, yeah. I don't know if he's in chat, but I need to replace this headset. It's broken. One of my viewers, his name is Joe Boy. He's in the Discord, but he doesn't have a social. He made a wood cutting for me that he sent to me. It looks like this. So this is a wood cutting of the logo. It's pretty cool. It's being spammed by followers at the moment. So this is wood, all of this. His girlfriend did the coloring though, but this is really cool. And actually, when he asked if he could, he didn't actually tell me what he was going to do, but he asked me if he could have my logo, and I by accident sent him the old logo instead of the new one. But actually I prefer it because the old logo is more TLD because it has all the stuff in it. It has the summit, it has Ash Canyon, Bridges, Blackrock, Lookout Tower, Fishing Hut, Spear, Pasture Valley, Signal Fire, Trappers Cabin, and some other stuff. But the new logo that I use now doesn't, which is this one. It doesn't have any of those things. Like, I don't know if you ever looked at them next to each other, but where Trapper's Cabin used to be, there's now a lighthouse and so on. That's because of copyright issues. Because if I wanted to put this logo on a t-shirt, then I'm technically infringing Hintland's copyrights. And even though they're very nice people, you know, that's not nice of me to do. So it got changed to this one. That's more like generic winter survival. But this one is with the TLD stuff. That's very cool, isn't it? By the way, you might hear like some background noise and stuff because it's really hot here, so I have to have the window open. Okay, let's put this back. My toque. It's really hot to wear the toque though. I have it here. This is the toque, but it's a bit hot. Maybe later. Okay, you can kind of see the window in the reflection. Actually, get double sack.
You have a good heart.
Oh, is that you, Joe, in the chat? Oh wow, Jade with the 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much, Jade. That's too kind.
You have a good heart.
Yeah, Lencha's in the chat. Yeah, I'm going to melt. It's going to be so hot. Might even have to take this off. It's very hot here today. And these ones
You have a good
are made
heart.
like Kirk Steven. He does Kirk Steven, who is like, he does art for my channel sometimes. He does thumbnails. He has made a ton of these sort of things.
You have a good heart.
But I never got around to really using them. But maybe one day we'll put them on shirts and things. The only one we use is the Sacknafane Dining one. That's on like a t-shirt somewhere. Yeah, anyway, we'll go through all that another time. Oh yeah, so Joe is here. Joe SMT as in something. First I'm watching. Oh really? Well, thank you for making it. Actually, we need to do this.
You have a good heart.
You're a VIP now. I mean, when you make something like that, I mean, because that was really cool. I have gotten gifts a couple times from viewers, maybe 3 or 4 times, something. But I didn't expect that in the mail. Okay, so
You have a good heart.
I think we should get in. Yeah, we don't have sex snacks, no. Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Joe. It is very hot. Yeah. So today, let's turn off this music here.
You have a
I'll show you some more stuff another time. So today, I thought we'd do some Cougar stuff, and maybe mystery if we have time. I am going to do a mystery series though.
You have a
So if we do mystery today, it won't be like the main one. It will be like just to go through it. But there will be a video. I haven't made it yet, but hopefully out on Friday or something. Yeah, hopefully, yeah. But yeah, thank you, Jade, for 10 subs. Jade is also one of my mods, and she's fantastic. And she does a lot of Discord stuff for me, a lot of stuff that I don't understand. And we got most of the hobbits here as well. We got Lencha as one of my mods is here, my wife Lencha, and we got Burb and Dunn. We're missing Koru and Peach Bee, but you know, they're all in different parts of the world. It's kind of hard to get the time that suits everyone. Yeah, see, great to see you all here. Okay, so yeah, Cora is in like New Zealand, so what time it is? It's 8:41 in the evening. Thank you for the Prime sub, Renya. I'm sorry if I miss anything. If you ask a question or you use Prime or sub or whatever, and I miss it, don't be afraid to ask again or use highlight message or something, because it doesn't take much for me to miss it, even though I try to catch everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, okay, so let's hop into the game, shall we? Let me just launch it. And I haven't streamed since, I don't even remember, I think it's April or March. And I haven't fiddled, other than the intro I just threw together and some other stuff. I haven't done anything, so that, hopefully everything works. Yeah, from Texas. The Reaper mod, yeah, that is, I can show you. This is a limited edition one. I forgot exactly what the edition's called. But this is Sovereign from Mass Effect. for the Reaper in the first game. It's very heavy. It's really, really heavy. I love Mass Effect. I think it's fantastic. I have a bunch of Mass Effect stuff. Say a bunch, but I have. In case anyone wants to read the Andromeda novella, for example, sort of thing, and yeah, and N7 shirts and those sort of things. But and I would love to do a Mass Effect playthrough, because for one thing, Mass Effect is a great series. Yeah, I even like Andromeda, but it's not the best. And there's a lot to say about Mass Effect because it's a really great game, and there's a lot to digest. And there's a lot of stuff, things people get wrong about it too. But the only issue with having a series about it is it takes, 100 hours per game or something. So it's going to take forever to do it. But maybe one day. Maybe one day. Okay, is the game up? Oh. Yeah, Mass Effect is fantastic. I need to take this off. It's really hot. And the computer doesn't help. Let's have a drink from my Don't Hurt Larry glass. Exclamation point merch. I don't even know if that's a command. I don't think it is. Actually, I don't think you can get this glass anymore. Yeah, okay, thanks. Thanks, Ton. I don't think this one. I don't think you can get this. Because we're actually switching merch store. I haven't gotten around to doing it. But we're switching supplier to someone else, because the problem with these guys, which is actually Streamlabs, is that they change the inventory all the time and they don't tell you. So I just happened to check one day, and like half of the stuff isn't there anymore. So like Thomasina have some merch stuff, you can't buy it anymore. Same with this glass, I think. No, it's a bit silly. Maybe Cora made it, yeah. Okay, let's switch to this one. I think it is. Is it this one? Let's just make sure I'm not doing this wrong. Yeah. There we are, yeah. Wait, chat's in the wrong place, I think. Why is chat there? Oh, I know why. Yeah. It's because that's a stupid thing with this program. When you move it in one scene, it moves it in all of them. But I think chat is meant to be over here, I think. I'll move it around, sorry. But yeah, I think it's meant to be like this. Give or take. Alright, so let me just hop into a game and then we can figure it out there. Cougar stuff. We're gonna do Cougar stuff. Alright. Let me just the alerts actually happen on top of the Cougar icon. So let's move it to the side like this, so you can actually see. Let me just test. Okay, that was not. Oh, sorry, that was sound alerts. My bad. That's better. And then
thanks for the
chat can be, yeah, chat can be there, I think. Hold on, if I do this, yeah, that looks okay, I think. Yeah, sorry about that. It's a lot of stuff. Okay. Yeah, I think that's better. I think. Okay, so let's do some long dogs. Oh, sorry, there was a highlighted. First time catching a stream, been watching a long time. Super nervous with the fight the Cougar in your 500-day run. Yes, I'm nervous about that too. I know how to go about it though, in a way that I won't die. So the way you do it, I can just tell you, I don't know if this will actually happen, but the way you do it is you prepare for failure with the Cougar. You just have to plan for the Cougar. You have to plan that you fail. That's what you have to do, because otherwise you die. So the way to do it is that when the Cougar's in the region, so in this run I'm doing now, it's just a demonstration run, so it doesn't matter. But in the main one, what you need to do, in my opinion, in the long run anyway, is you plan where you want to meet the Cougar, and then you set up supplies in a nearby transition zone, or in a just stay near another region. Yeah, so like a recovery station. Yeah. So for example, let's say I am in, you know, Pleasant Valley, right? Then what you want to do is when the cougar is about to come, the best way to do it is to do something like stay near like the road to Keeper's Pass, or the Cinder Hills Mine, or Single Hill or something, and then you wait, and when the cougar attacks, if you kill it, you kill it, but if you don't, you then retreat into, say, Keeper's Pass, where you already put supplies, or even better, the transition cave to Mystery Lake, and then you heal up in there, and then you either go back and try again, or you just leave it, come back later. I think that's the only way to do it, because if not, you're just gonna die. You're just gonna die. That's it. That's how I would do it. Right. Yes, so Archimedes question about 100% protection. We're kind of going to do that today. So I was one of the play testers for this. So usually whenever a content comes out, I kind of race to get everything done right away. But this time I was fortunate enough that I could do everything in advance. Well, not everything. I didn't have nearly as much time as I had hoped to record stuff. But I have played on this patch for a while. I don't know how long exactly, but we were initially the four of us, which was me, Thomasina, Hadrian, and Athenan. We were asked to review basically misery mode. And we did. And then, long story short, they basically, to reward us for our help, they gave us early access to the content. And of course, while we were playing it, we gave feedback on other things too. And that meant that I had maybe a little bit over a week in advance. I had access to Mystery much longer than that, but we weren't allowed to record anything.
We have here,
or at least not use anything. Thank you for the subs, by the way. I haven't been reading them out. Cedar Spookiness and Duran Roll. So because of that, I kind of know everything in the patch. The only thing I haven't done is the tails. I haven't done the tails, and that's pretty much it. That's it. The rest of the stuff I pretty much know. Well, we can make a command actually if you want. Graffin. Hey, Graffin. By the way, it was myself, Athenan, Thomasina, and Hadrian. It was an interesting selection because we're all very different players. Hadrian, of course, is like an original Long Dark player who then took a hiatus and he came back years later. So when I started playing the Long Dark and I came into the community, which is about 2018, that's around the time that Hadrian retired. So he was around in chat, but he didn't do any content. And then it's a year ago, maybe about a year ago, he came back to the Long Dark. So they recruited him too. So it's a good team. Thomasina, I'm really glad I included, because Thomasina, I always try to promote her because it's annoying that she's not a Twitch partner. She's like just under the criteria or whatever. So she really should be a Twitch partner in my opinion. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sorry if anyone had trouble with this. If there's unexpected errors or whatever, it's not to do with me. It's not anything I'm doing. Thank you for the subscription, Revi and
At
Chrissy.
Sleepy Turtle 7-0, it would be a little surprise smiley face.
Ah, yeah, that's a good point. We can move the camera up a little bit. We can do it like this. I think that would be roughly correct, right? Give or take. Messed up the frame a little bit. Something like that. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so here we are. So this here is a custom interloper run. So what I thought we'd do today is just kind of like go through the Cougar. So I'm guessing most of you have seen the video already, but I'm going to go through some other things. I can answer questions if you want, and I'll share some more observations that I noticed when I play tested it, although nearly everything I'm going to say is just my impression of this stuff. It's possible that it doesn't work this way at all. So in this particular run here, we're on Interloper, and we are in Fallen Muskeg, and the Cougar is about to arrive in 0 days, right? So the Cougar isn't here yet, but it will be. And this is just a kind of demonstration run, so it doesn't matter if I die. It really doesn't matter. It's just for demonstration purposes. But we have the bow, and we also have a decent protection rate. We got bear and wolf and some other stuff, and 38% protection, really.
What do we have here?
Yellow Zach. I have chronic pain and your videos are always perfect for days when I am mostly stuck in bed. Take my money and have a good stream.
Take my money. Thank you so much, Rip Jamie. And sorry you have chronic pain, but I'm glad the videos can help. But thank you very much for the bits. Oh. Thank you, Zarian Play, for the raid. Thank you very much. The new region, we could go to the new region if you want, but tomorrow I have a video coming out about the new region, so I don't know, but it's but we could do it if you want. Okay, so the Cougar in this run is arriving, I think it arrives in the morning. I'm not 100% sure when it arrives, but we got this Cougar threat. So what we do also have in this run is this, the ballistics vest. So we could put this on and just see what happens. I haven't actually tested this, and then we can see how much damage we take. So I don't know the numbers or anything of the Cougar, because I never paid that close attention to it. But the gist of it is, my impression is that when you are attacked by the Cougar, there is a chance you get the affliction, the severe lacerations. And I don't know, but I'm assuming the chance is mitigated by your protection rate, right? So the more protected you are, the less likely you are to get the bleed. Because I did it a few times naked and I always got the affliction, but then I didn't always get it in the other ones. And I felt that the attack itself is sort of similar to a bear attack, where it kind of always does the same amount of damage. I got the impression that if you survive the attack, or you don't get the affliction, the Cougar takes like 30% of your health or something. But if you get the affliction, it does like 70% or 80% damage or something like that. Really, really high. And then you die from bleeds. So, well, one thing I haven't tested is just make myself practically immune. So it's 88% now, so you can still get some damage, but let's just see what happens with that. The vest should lose condition after a fight, yeah. Okay. Save yourself of the health you have. I don't know, because the ones I did were all on full health. So I can't go into the details about how the playtesting worked. We didn't sign anything like confidentiality or whatever, but it was just like a mutual agreement and understood that the whole thing was, the whole thing was like a confidential thing. So I can talk about it generally, but I'd rather not give details unless Sintlan says otherwise. But when we tested the Cougar, we obviously had means to test it several times, because otherwise we would have to start a run and wait forever and then test it once and die. So we had ways to do that. And it was mostly tested on Stalker, not so much on Interloper. Thank you for the subscription, MJ Shinjuku. Okay, So we're going to wait for the cougar. We're here in Fallen Muskeg, and we're just gonna wait until it attacks, and I'll try and kill it. Now the thing is, killing it with the bow is really, really hard. It's really difficult. Partially because when you get attacked, the you have to wait for the bow animation. So when you bring it up like this, like when you take it out of your holster like this, right? You have to wait for that animation. It takes a while, and then you have to draw. While if you have the rifle, you literally just kind of like, it's like having a stone. It literally just comes up. Do you have a stone here? I don't know. Yeah, so the flare gun would have been a better comparison. Oh god, I can't sprint because of the, the ballistics vest. But yeah, so imagine that this is actually a rifle. So if you fight the cougar and bring up the bow, you have to wait through this animation. Well, if you fight him with a rifle, you just do this animation. So it's really fast. So with the rifle, you have a lot of time to find the cougar and kill it. With the bow, it's really hard because you don't have much time, and by the time you do it, it's pretty far away usually, and you have to account for bullet drop as well. There's a video by Thomasina where she actually shows all of her attempts. I only showed I think one in my video, but it's really, really hard. It's really hard. So an intro is going to be difficult. There's definitely a trick to it, which I never got around to mastering because I only did so many tests. But there's definitely a trick to it. So in time, I think the cougar will be killed easier. I tested it on Pilgrim Saurian, but I never got attacked on Pilgrim. You can't. I don't know if that's a bug with passive wildlife or what. We'll figure that out. Can you avoid a cougar attack by putting yourself in a corner? So there is a thing about the cougar. So I actually had drawn a conclusion about how the cougar worked and its attack until I saw Thomasina's video. So when I did my testing, I never got attacked by the cougar if I was in a awkward place. So if I was somewhere where, like for example here, right, I would never get attacked. Because, and if I was on somewhere like, for example, on top of this rock there, I never got attacked. And I figured that that's just because I assumed that around the player there's like this hidden aura, and it basically tracks the terrain, and the game basically decides that the cougar doesn't have anywhere to go if it attacks you, so then you can't get attacked. That's what I thought was happening. But then I saw Thomasina's video, and she gets attacked through a wall in the fishing hut, and through a rock or something, and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, Bashro, I haven't seen it, but he got attacked through indoors. Maybe they are working on that. I don't really know, but yeah, it's so I don't know exactly. But at least I didn't get attacked when I was in, like, say, awkward positions. Launch an arrow high in the air. Yeah, like I did with the deer. I did that with a deer more than once, actually, but only one was recorded. Shot an arrow in the air and then waited for it to walk into. I might play Misery, yeah. Also, I'm going to call the cougar a her, because Thomasina decided to say it's a her or she, so why not? It can be she. I don't know if, so we have to see how it works. While we're waiting for the cougar to show up, we can actually pass some time. I'll share a couple other observations I did also, which I don't know, again, I don't know if these are true, but this is my experience anyway. I noticed that
can't be far behind.
I never got attacked during an aurora. No, this is not my main run, Peach. Hey, Peach. Actually, Peach, you should really be a VIP as well. You do a lot of stuff for this channel. So I tried to see if I can get an Aurora Cougar, but I never got one. And I'm assuming that's because there is no such thing. So what happened to me when the Aurora kicked in was nothing. That's the Cougar threat. I walked around in Ash Canyon and I never got attacked during the entire Aurora. Let's just see. Can you see the Cougar icon? You can. Maybe it should be slightly higher still, like that maybe. There we are. Hey, it's Keela. Thank you for the raid, Keela. Very nice. Yeah, so I never got attacked during an Aurora. I assume it's because that's a different world state. But I don't know. It could also be a coincidence. It's possible that some of the times things I observe is just chance, you know. And I also never got attacked by a Cougar in... Oh, actually, I need to turn on music. I turned off music for the recording earlier, so I need to turn it back on. I never got attacked by a blizzard. There's the Cougar theme. You can hear the Cougar theme plays when the Cougar's in the area. And you'll start hearing Cougar noises, but I'm guessing because I'm in this kind of indoor place, we don't have the noises yet. But yeah, when I was out in the blizzard, I did a test in Forsaken Airfield, and I walked around in a blizzard, and it's really creepy. It's really creepy, but you can hear the Cougar. It's hard to hear because the blizzard is so loud. But if you walk out in a blizzard with a Cougar in your region, if you listen closely, it is there. You'll hear little growls and rustles like in the wind. It's really creepy. But I never got attacked by it in a blizzard or an Aurora. But these are mostly single or double observations, so there is a chance element that you just don't get attacked. Once I got attacked 3 times in like 5 hours, and another time I didn't get attacked in 2 days. So I don't know, you know, it just depends, I guess. Okay, do you think we should have a very small amount of reaction time? So Oplian, so a lot of people have said in the comments that they want that a lot of people have said that the way they wished the Cougar worked was that when you get an alert saying Cougar's coming, like either your character turns around quickly or there's a noise, and when you hear that noise, the Cougar has spawned somewhere and is sprinting towards you like really, really fast. But you should have just enough time, like let's say it suddenly spawns, I should have just enough time to equip my bow, aim, and then potentially shoot it before it gets too close. And then you have a chance to react, but you have to be very, very quick. And that would be one way to do it. I guess it's harder to program in terms of like the terrain, but I guess you could do it that way. But so we'll see. At the moment, this is how it works. It's basically an instant event, and you can't kill it unless you do it after the attack. But Hintland does listen to feedback, so they might change it, but it depends. I don't know. Yeah, thanks, Salman. Hello. So I actually really like that it's like this. If it was possible to react before it attacks, like you had a very, very small window to react, I would be okay with that too. But I actually like that it's not an animal that's around in the world, because it's the same as everything else, right? So you add the moose to the world, and it's roaming around, and it's a rare spawn. You add the poison wolves. Okay, they're only one place, but they're roaming around. You add ptarmigans. You can only find them in high altitudes, but they're just there, right? The Cougar, I actually like, is not around because it's meant to be stealthy and hidden, so you shouldn't be able to find it, you know. So I kind of like it, actually. I really like that that it works the way it does. But I wouldn't be opposed to the suggestion that you have a very small window of attack to counter it, so you can prevent it or scare it off. But if they did add that, they would have to take away the opportunity to shoot it after the struggle. Otherwise, you get 2 chances, and that would be too much. Don't die. Okay. So people are a bit split. Some people really like the new mechanic. Some really hate it, and some are in between. I really like it, but I'm open to it being changed, but I really like it. Okay, I don't want to face the Cougar at night. You can do it, but it's really hard to kill it at night. One thing, by the way, the Cougar does not care about fire. It does not care. You can make a ring of campfires around you. It will ignore it and go straight for you. The only cool thing about having a campfire when the Cougar attacks is it looks cool, because you get the campfire glow on the Cougar when as you die. You get a good look at it. And if it's at night, the fire helps to spot where the Cougar is. That's pretty much it. Thank you for the subscription, Mandragus Sprouts.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
So yeah, Cougar's on cat. That's right. Okay. Right. I think we'll try and wait until it's a bit lighter. Let's just pass some more time here. It shouldn't attack me here. I haven't actually tested it, but I don't think the Cougar can attack me here. That would be surprising. I don't see how that would work.
It's making my head feel thick.
I assume I'm protected by an invisible barrier right now, just like wolves. Wolves can't come in here, and I assume with the Cougar it's the same. I haven't tested it, but I assume that we have to be a bit careful here with fire. Well, let's leave 2 hours and see what happens. I assume that the Cougar works the same way as wolves with barriers. There's a lot of invisible barriers in the world, less now than there used to be, and the Cougar can't attack when you're in those barriers. I'm just gonna not die here to being cold, so we're gonna. Do I need accelerant? Nah, we got a lot of matches. Fight a fire. Let's just warm up here. What are your thoughts on new feat available, which rules are cabin fear? Does this change the way you might play Lopa? Oh yeah,
Come on.
wait, what? I don't care if I use matches here, because it's this is a demonstration run. This is not my main run, it's not my stream run either. But, so I don't care if I die here. I think you can be attacked if you're sleeping outside. Yes, I think so. But I haven't tested that, but I'm sure you can.
Fire's life out here.
The new feats. So I love that they added feats to the game. I didn't expect that they would do that. That was very cool. Can you see them here? I think you can. Badge. Yeah, here you can. You can see them here. So there are 3 new feats, if you guys didn't know. No, frostbite, yeah. So we got this one, the big cat killer. You gotta kill 3 Cougars to get it, so that's gonna be tricky. Although there are ways to cheese this one out, because it depends on how they register it. But but then the benefit is that the wildlife are less aware of your presence. I don't know how that works, but I assume that it basically reduces detection range, I guess, which could be very handy on Interloper and Stalker, not so much on the lower ones. But I don't think I would use this very much, because the wildlife are not really that big a deal anyway, right? Because the wolves, you just kill them or you use a torch or whatever. There are situations where, especially in the early game or in certain challenges, I'm like, okay, now I wish they couldn't see me, especially timber wolves. That's the main thing I would like with this. However, one thing is, if it applies to all wildlife, maybe deer detects you a bit later, so it makes it a bit easier to hunt deer, maybe. So that would be cool. So it's definitely something worth checking out, but it's not a game changer. Then you have 2 other ones, and you need to do the tails for these. I haven't done the tails. This one makes you immune to cabin fever, and research actions happen 20% faster. I don't know what research actions are, but I assume they mean reading books. I assume you mean they read books faster, I guess. Immune to cabin fever, though, is a big thing. Because a lot of people don't like cabin fever. And if you have this on, it doesn't really change the average game too much. Because cabin fever is only really an issue when, for example, you have to craft a lot. And then you get cabin fever and you don't have a bedroll yet, or there's no good locations nearby or something. Then it could be handy. But other than that, cabin fever is not really an issue. Like on my main runs, I almost never struggle with it. However, if you have this on, it does make hibernation a lot easier, because you can just stack up on food and stay indoors and pass time and sleep and pass time and sleep. And if you just kill a few bears, if you really want to do this, you can put this feat on, survive until day whatever 50 in Interloper. Make sure you stack up on a base with a load of bear meat and moose meat and deer meat, whatever you got. Make a bunch of water, and then just pass time, sleep, repeat. And you could probably add like 100 days to your run that way. But here's a question: just because you can do that, do you really want to do that? That's a really boring way to play the game, in my opinion. I only do hibernation in very certain circumstances, almost never normally, because there's always something to do. You always have got somewhere to go, so why bother? But it's an interesting, it's very cool that you have the option, though. It's cool that you have the option, especially because a lot of people don't like cabin fever. So it's cool. Yeah, I like that they added it. I don't know if I'll use it, but I like that they added it. And then the third one is an interesting one. Celestial Navigator, which is you walk faster on clear night or an aurora. Ooh. Which again, why would you want that? For one thing, you shouldn't really be out at night on aurora. Because it's too dangerous. It's too dangerous. Especially aurora. Do you really need to walk faster for that? There is one use for this, though. One challenge that I put off doing for a while is the vampire challenge, where you basically only can go out at night when there's no sun, and you put on the dark walker feat when you are less fatigued at night, right? And then you can add stuff. There's versions of this challenge, things like you can only eat raw meat, for example, that sort of thing. So what would be cool to do is you do an Interloper with Darkwalker and Celestial Navigator. Then you get a character who's like this total badass at night and really weak at daytime. So that would be cool. That's a fun one to do. So I'll probably do that at some point. After I've done the tails, which I'll probably do on Road to 500 Days. I might do the vampire challenge. Copyright now. So that would be fun. But other than that, I don't know. Those are the feats. Okay. Let's sleep and see what happens. I think actually while I'm sleeping, I'm going to run an ad, because according to Twitch, I try and reduce as much ads as I can. So I have it on that it's 1 ad per hour. It's because I don't like having ads on Twitch at all. But there's one due in 5 minutes, and instead of having it in 5 minutes, we can just run it now while the character's sleeping. And then we're done for the hour. It's not better. So let's go to sleep. Let's run the ad now and sleep. So those of you who don't have the ad because you got Twitch Turbo or a different country or whatever, you guys can listen to me talk. Let's put 4 hours sleep. There we are. I rested too. And I'm just going to wait, because it says here handy to have two screens. It says that the ad's still running. And I don't want people to miss out, because I hate when I watch things and you got an ad in the middle of something. It's stupid. Hey, if you did get an ad, you're back now. Thank you. We waited for you because ads are annoying. And now we're free for over an hour. Isn't that nice? Okay. Twitch sent me like emails saying like, hey, did you know you can increase your ad revenue by 25% on Twitch? All you gotta do is show an ad every 20 minutes, 1 minute, or 3 minutes of ads. And it's like, why would I want that? That's just annoying for viewers. Imagine I'm going around talking like I'm doing now in the game, and then a minute cuts out of it for the average viewer. How annoying is that? So like, no, I don't want the extra revenue if it's at the cost of a viewer experience. It's just stupid. I understand what it exists, you know, but you know. Anyway, now we're here at the Cougar. Let's eat up on dog food. And we're just gonna go out and see if the Cougar attacks us and go from there, really. The weather isn't great though. Better weather would have been better, but we'll see. Okay, so, and we also remember we have 88% protection, so let's see what happens when we get attacked. What happens to our clothing? Our clothing should be in pretty good condition also. Yeah, good enough. It's, you know, decent, I guess. Let's see what happens to the vest especially. And yeah, let's just see. So I shouldn't get attacked here. The weather's not great, but I can get attacked anywhere. But if you don't know what these 3 campfires are at the bottom, that's your cheat deaths. Those are your lives. Cheat death is an interesting mechanic. The penalties are really severe, but the way cheat death, we can just talk about it while I'm walking around. The way cheat death kind of works, as far as I'm concerned, is that if you use it and feel you have an actual chance of surviving, you might as well take the short-term penalty and try and survive. And if you don't, then oh well, you died like you normally would. Okay, so the problem with this weather is that if the Cougar attacks me now, it's going to be hard to kill it. The other problem is all this ice. So if it runs out on the ice and I kill it, I can't get to it. And when you asked if you can cook the Cougar, and the Cougar, you can cook the Cougar. It gives you Cougar meat. Isn't that nice? I think I want to wait for a little bit better weather than this. How are we doing with time? 3 hours. Okay. Let's just pass some time here. 2 hours. And sleep 1 hour. Nah, it's more or less the same. Am I going to reload my save? I would have to back it up for that. I didn't back it up. So I guess no. No, I don't think so. I have other saves we could do it on, but I don't think so. This is like a one-off. This is a demonstration run that is expendable. It's not really for anything other than trying to kill the Cougar. So, and I just picked a random location here because it's outdoors. And it's also nice and flat, but there's also a lot of ice. Ideally you want somewhere where you can easily see it. However, when I did some testing, I found it kind of useful actually to get attacked near a wall, because the Cougar can run anywhere in all directions afterwards. But if you're right near a wall, it won't go that way. So it gives you there's less options in terms of finding it. So when I got attacked by the Cougar near some sort of edge or wall, I usually had higher success killing it. Especially with things like the revolver. The revolver was really easy to use because it was so quick. So I would love it if I get attacked somewhere like here, for example. And we can either just wait for it to happen, or we can pass time and trigger it. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, kitty, kitty, kitty. Hold on, actually, I need to have my phone out here for is this messages? Okay, good. I'll put that here. So the bunker is up here. Okay, here's a good place. If I get attacked here, that's good. The only problem is that it's not very flat. So if the Cougar runs up here, it's a bit harder to shoot at it. Because if you shoot uphill, the arrow drop works differently. So if you shoot, for example, at this rock here, if I aim at the edge of the rock, it's going to actually hit we're pretty close, so it will hit below it, I think. Yeah, see, it hit below it slightly, but it did hit it below it. But if I do it the other way around, like shoot down on this edge here, it's kind of the opposite. Yeah, well, you get the idea. It's hard to aim when the terrain is uneven. I never actually tested that stuff, but out of experience, I find that the hardest shots to land are the ones that are uphill. Those are really hard. Downhill is not so hard, so if you're above an animal, you just gotta aim a bit lower usually, and you can hit it. But uphill is a bit harder. But we could try here, and then if it runs like here, well, we got it probably. If we run up here, it's a bit harder, but we can try. Where else can we go? We could go over here to the cave, and spoiler alert, you can get attacked in a cave. It's not nice. I actually thought, I'll just say this about playtesting, I'm sure it's fine, but I actually thought you couldn't get attacked in caves, because when you enter the cave, the Cougar symbol goes away. And I was like, okay, it must mean I'm safe, and then I got attacked. So I told them, like, you shouldn't take away the symbol. I don't know if they changed it. I wonder though if this is bugged, because I can't hear the Cougar sounds. Oh, okay. I'm so good at jinxing things. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's see how we get on here. Alright, where are you? Where are you, Cougar? I'm gonna find you. Are you gonna run downhill? There you are. No, don't go behind the tree! No! Oh. Dang it. Oh, I didn't get lacerations at least. Okay, come on this side now. Come on this side. Right now. Nah, we're not gonna kill it. It's behind the tree. Oh. It's not gonna even appear, I don't think, no. Tree, saved by the tree. He ate my mittens, yeah. That was a jinx. In the hibernation video that I made, I don't know if you've seen it, it happens so many times that I say something and the opposite happens. Okay, so we didn't get lacerations, and we're still alive, and lost 2% of the ballistics vest, and mittens got destroyed. The rest actually seems alright-ish. Let's try again. I don't think the Cougar can kill you. I don't know what the threshold is. We could go and recover some health back there. But I would find it more interesting to see if we just die. Do we die now? We don't have any stims actually. But we could go back and recover. I don't have that much food, is the only thing. But we could maybe do it. How much health did I lose exactly from that? 61. So in theory then, if I get attacked again, I'm dead. Well, let's try. Let's see if I get attacked again now. Am I just dead? Am I dead? Or does it take a percentage of my health? Because that's something I didn't actually test. Well, let's see. I'm sorry, I know I missed some chat here because things just happened, you know. Okay, no trees this time. Okay, let's see. I want to be attacked like, not in the cave, because that's too hard. But somewhere and I can see it. Like over here, for example, is good. Right here. Unless it runs around the corner. Although there's stupid trees here as well. You gotta find the right terrain, and that's not easy. Because let's say worst case scenario. And I get attacked here. Yeah, it's pretty good. Because it can only go certain places. But I can still go behind the stupid trees though. Yeah. It is a little bit of a chance thing. The trees actually make this harder. It does. I don't hear any cougar sounds. I just realized. Why are there no cougar sounds? Yeah, why are there no cougar sounds? You should hear them normally. Maybe it's bugged out. Yeah. Yeah, let's okay. Let's do a poll. Where's the poll one? Is that this one? A prediction. Is it prediction? Alright, start prediction. Oops. Wait, what? What did I just do? So, possible outcomes. Death. Barely survive. Name. Will Cougar attack to kill me? Whatever. Alright, start your predictions. Will I die or not with this? Okay, so I'm trying to think where would be a good place, but I think here would be good because it could run up there, it could run into the cave, could run behind the tree. I'm trying to think where in the world, let's say I was in Fallen Muskeg and this happened, where would I prefer to be attacked? In the perfect world, I want to be somewhere that is flat with no trees and a wall on one side. Where's that in Fallen Muskeg? There's too many trees everywhere. And there's ice as well. Maybe the best is actually the moose lake where the moose can spawn. That's kind of flat and there's a corner. You'd attack there. There's only a few places the cougar can run. So that would be good. Yeah, I guess so.
What do we have here?
Okay, we'll see. Thank you for the subscription, Thermal Fate. So what's the predict? So we got pretty much 50-50 here about survival or death. Cool. Alright. Open eyes, yeah. Bottleneck is an interesting idea. Oh, okay, well, here we go. There's no sounds though, no.
I'm gonna kill you and eat you,
Okay, well. Def 1. The Def 1 won. There we go. I didn't want to pause because I wanted the time to run, because otherwise it takes too long for the cougar to appear. Okay, so now we know the vest didn't really do much, did it? So I had 88% protection rate and I died in 2 attacks. So yeah, and it definitely bugged because I couldn't hear any sounds. That happened before in another test I did. So I think that's an issue. That's just, they'll probably fix it. So yeah. So that's interesting that I had 41% health, and with the vest it did make a difference. So I don't think the protection rate did much at all, because I had 88% protection. Granted, I didn't have 100%, but 88%, and I still lost 61% health. That's a lot. That can't be related to the percentages, because if it was, it would be huge. And I have been attacked by the cougar naked on Interloper, and I think it did like 70, or maybe it did the same amount as this. So it seems to do a majority chunk out of you. So unlike a bear attack, you just have to be ready for it, I guess. It doesn't do percentage damage, that's fixed. It does a portion, I guess it's a number, I guess. This is why on Misery, if you play Misery, I don't think anyone's going to kill the Cougar. The only way you kill the Cougar on Misery, I'll explain how Misery works in a second, or a little bit later. The only way you kill the Cougar on Misery is if you kill it really early. That's it. Yeah.
Thanks for the vote of
Cougar 1. I think it does a flat amount. Seems very, very likely. Yeah, the severe laceration may also be the reason, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about cheat death. Cheat death has been added. Thank you for the description, Davila. So with cheat death, we'll do cheat death just for the fun of it. So the new cheat death system, let's talk about that while we're here. We're going to end, no, the interloper run's going to continue, and we're going to kill the Cougar on the interloper run. Maybe anyway. But we're going to start a new mystery run now. Okay. Cheat death is an interesting thing. So I wasn't going to make a video about it because I thought that the video from Hintland was good enough, really. And Thomasina has a video on cheat death as well, mostly her just trying out, and I figured like, what is it to say about it? Well, actually there's a lot to say about cheat death. There's a lot to say about it because it has a severe impact. So it gives you kind of the illusion of choice, because you could just end it and then it's the same as permadeath, but if you accept it, a few things happen. So the achievements progress is reset, which makes sense because you died. The affliction, you get a temporary reduction, so you are in a weakened state. We'll talk about that in a second. The backpack is now, this is what's confusing for me when I first tried this. I thought the backpack would be where I died, but it's not. The backpack is in a campfire in the region, and you got to find that, but it's marked on your map where it is. And then you get the penalty and then the respawn. And the backpack, you also lose some of the stuff. You're not guaranteed to get everything back. Thomasina, in one of her deaths, she actually lost the bow. So the implication of cheat death is that you have to have regional bases. And I already have that whenever I play. I always set up regional bases. And I always have matches in every base, and some food, and some water, and some medicine to help with this sort of stuff, coincidentally. But if you can lose things like a bow, that means you need to have spare saplings as well. Because otherwise you're basically restarting. But that's, so there's an interesting concept, really. It's pretty cool. Basher was 15 or 20 stims. That's crazy. Alt F4 is a weak man's death, yeah. I do like that. Hey Bash, how you doing? What I really like about this is that if you do choose to go for it, the penalties are really severe. So you want to avoid it. You can't go around playing like, oh well, if I die, at least I have 3 lives. Oh well, who cares if I die? No, if you die and you activate cheat death, you will find yourself in a really difficult position. Let me illustrate. So we'll go next here, right? And you get 2 choices. This is the first time he died, so you can have 50% reduction rate for 30 days. 30 days with half health. That's a long time on Interloper. Going on with half health. Is it doable? Yes, it's perfectly doable. And if you die late in the game and you have supplies everywhere, then it's even easier. And it's even easier if you have settled mind, the new feat, and you don't get cabin fever, and you have a regional base, and you go to that base and just wait out 30 days. So in that circumstance, it's really good. But even so, it's 30 days, right? You can alternatively just take the chunk, but then you're basically walking about a route with super frostbite. So in my opinion, generally speaking, it's I would just treat it as a kind of permadeath where you might as well just choose the short-term penalty and try to survive. And if you survive, then you eventually carry on as normal, rather than taking the permanent penalty, because then the game is reduced in its efficacy regardless of how you play. That's my opinion anyway. Yeah. Yeah, it used to be 20 days here, but they changed to 30, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to choose the short-term penalty. And then there's another thing. When you spawn, you don't spawn with like full health or whatever. You do spawn without afflictions, but you spawn with like a small amount of health in like middle of nowhere-ish and limited supplies, so you could easily die again very quickly. Easily. So yes. So, and one thing about it also, if you choose close risky respawn, I don't know exactly, but I think it varies by region where you spawn. So I did some in Sundered Pass and in, where was it? Was it Forsaken Airfield? And I spawned very close to where I died. But in Pleasant Valley when I died, I spawned like on the other side of the map. So it only really means you spawn in the same region. That's what that means. It doesn't necessarily mean you spawn close. This one though, far safe respawn, I thought that was like the other side of the map, but it's really the other side of the world map. I believe this one, the far safe respawn, follows a kind of rule of two, where you always spawn 2 regions away. So now we're in Fallen Muskeg, so if I click this, we probably will spawn in either Hushed River Valley, or Coastal Highway, or Pleasant Valley. One of those 3. Maybe Forsaken Airfield, but I doubt it. It seems to jump 2 regions. That's my understanding of it, at least. You get attacked in the vacant depot, Bashful? That's insane. I don't think that should happen. But they're probably going to fix that sort of stuff, because every time there's a major patch, Hintland always does the same thing. They dedicate the next maybe 2 weeks or so to only hotfix things. They don't do any development, they only fix things. So now they're going to have summer holiday soon, but they're going to dedicate the next few weeks to just try and fix things. That's what they're going to do. So if that's a bug, and it sounds like it's a bug, they'll probably fix that. Okay, we're going to do a close risky respawn for sure. And now the screen is going to be black and white for about 2 to 3 days. And we shouldn't spawn too close, I don't think. So here we are. So we are, yeah. And this is where is this? So notice that this is a really, really bad situation, even with all the stuff. Oh, okay, we're here. Okay, so let's pause the game here for a second. We can just tab out and it freezes. Okay, so here's the thing. You cheated death. Is this safe? No, you're probably just dead anyway, right? Because look, you have whatever this is, 15% health, 20% health or something, right? So you're cold, and unless you have matches on you, I don't think we have, we can check. No, you have 3 matches, they're very typical. If you have matches on you, they leave you 3 matches, tinder and stick. So this is a really bad spot. It's very likely that you're just going to die again before you do anything, because your condition is so bad, you have really few resources, so you have very little to work with. So I think in very many cases, you're just going to die again. And to make things worse, you got the Cougar is still in the region. So I can get attacked again right now. So that's not good.
For the vote of confidence.
Thank you, Country Roads, for the 27-month subscription. Wow, that's crazy. Thank you. This was the risky respawn choice. That's right. Now, if you have good map knowledge, you know what to do. So here, the best choice is to go to the Bleak Inlet Cave and get coal, and then warm up and go from there. But let's say you didn't have that option, you know, there's not much to say. So that's why you really need to have the far choice as an option if the Cougar's around, especially. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. So we're gonna go try this out. So in our case, we're cold, low health, Cougar's on us, we have no real food, 1 cattail, hurrah. And but we do have a cave over here, so if you can make it there, we might survive. I don't know if I have a bedroll though. I don't have a bedroll. How fun. I don't have a stim, nothing. There is a bed in the cave though, so how's my... Yeah, they took all the coal as well, see. I will post this on YouTube, yeah, but I'll post on the other channel. I very rarely post Twitch stuff on my main channel. There are exceptions though. Yeah, no. Like I said, I will only face the Cougar on my main run in a very prepared way. If I can hardly see anything. So I got flare on. I'll pick that one up. Come on. I want the coal. Why can't I pick that one up? You should be able to pick this one up. There we go. Thank you. Oh, whatever. Alright, so let's... oh, well, at least I have my trusted armored vest. Hurrah. Let's try... I don't actually need tin though. Okay, so we can start a fire. And because we're near the... this is actually a pretty good spawn because of the coal. But if I just looted this coal in this cave, then you're pretty much just dead. Yeah. Alright. And then we can put this coal on here. And now we're warming up. Isn't that nice? We can grab a torch, see if... let's see if Larry is home. Is Larry home? Hey Larry, are you around? No. Same. Oh well. But you could recover from this situation. No, the vest is at... oh yeah, now it's even lower. Oh, that's because of the cheat death. So the gear is damaged. That's not because of the Cougar. Yeah. Do you have a can for water? I don't think so. No, you don't have a can for water either. So you're really screwed, really. Yeah, Cougar's backwards compatible, yeah. Alright, so we can warm up and then we can go back out there. So let's go to Fallen Muskeg. Here we are. So here's our campsite. I don't really... So I guess that's... Where is that? Like north of the map, I think. Let me know.
If I don't get some food soon.
Yeah, so we basically spawned with this. We kept our gear, but the gear is severely damaged. We got 1 catting, 1 tinder, and 3 matches. And that's it. Yeah, this is like the noir filter. And what happens also, so now we have this weakened state. And this means we recover more slowly. And stamina drains faster. And also you get the color filter. If you survive this time though, if you pass enough time for this, the filter goes away and you can play normally. So you basically got to survive like 2 or 3 days and you're good. But this one will remain for 700 hours and then you'll get it back. So cheat death is no joke. It's really, really tough. It's really tough. I think if I was in a game and I died early in the game, and when I say early, I mean early enough that I haven't set up bases, so probably sub 50 days, I probably would just end the game. Or maybe do a far respawn. If I have a late game, so for example in my main run now, my goal is to not die at all in my main run, my 500 day run. But if I did die in it, I probably would choose, especially if the cougars were killed me, I would definitely choose the far spawn and basically recover there. If the cougar isn't what killed me, I probably would choose a close respawn. Yeah. Okay, so we are warm. We're just gonna take some sticks, but I'm not gonna go very long here. I'm gonna just see what happens. But we're gonna die and quit anyway, so. Paying for the description, Valm Love, by the way. So, I don't know exactly where this is. This looks like it's...
I just need to close my eyes.
Up by the... just north of the... Poachers camp, maybe? I would have to check. It's kind of hard to see without having the map revealed. Hey man, shall I where you died from next episode? Yeah. So I'm probably gonna just die here because there's very little resources. It is survivable though. I could go back in and I could get some more coal, and I could go to Bleak Inlet and just wait there for a while, get some cattails and some birch. So it's possible to survive this, but it's not really any worth in doing it. We're gonna die now to hypothermia or the cougar, whichever kills us first.
I'm so cold, I'm warming up again.
Yeah, another reason to map, that's right. If we die again now, just for the sake of demonstration, we'll do the far away spawn, so you can see what I mean. You can actually run for 2 meters. If I had to guess, I think the backpack is like, I think it's north of Poachers, but I'm not sure. But you basically, there's an actual campfire there where your backpack is. So if you get there fast enough, you'll see the smoke of the backpack, and then that's it. You can find it much easier. Because it won't make a difference, so we're dead anyway.
Some water.
Yeah, you gotta, like Archimede said, you gotta leave emergency stashes everywhere. I'm not bothered about the torches, I just want to die here. But yeah, so let's just, actually let's just die here, it's stalling here. Alright, let's just do the far away spawn so you can see what I mean. So we'll do cheat death again. And we'll do the, doesn't really matter, we'll do the short penalty. Now it's 60%, then it's 70%. And if we now do a far safe respawn, I'm fairly certain we will spawn in either Hushed River Valley, Pleasant Valley, or Coastal Highway. One of those three it will be. Okay, so let's check that out. Right. There's a bug there. You see the bug. Right, so we're in the community hall in Pleasant Valley, like I said. And actually we have more health. Of course, it's a community hall full on musket, which is not true. We're in Pleasant Valley. We're not in Hushed River Valley. And there's no cougar threat. So that's bugged a little bit. Probably another thing they need to iron out. And if I go outside now, I imagine it's corrected. Yeah. Now it says Pleasant Valley. And I bet if I go back inside, it will say Pleasant Valley again. Now it's correct. It says Community Hall Pleasant Valley. And it does say 10 days remaining down here for the cougar, which makes you think, oh, the cougar's in my region. But it just means that you need to stay out of full-on musket now for 10 days before the cougar loses interest. That's what that means. Yeah. Okay. But we're cold. But we could, like, here's boots. Maybe this was my stash, you know. And you can loot around here and survive. But now you're much safer. So if this was my safe house, my regional base, I would be fine. Or even if it wasn't, I could go to my main base from here. So if you do the far away spawn, you'll probably survive. The only issue is that you really should have supplies nearby, otherwise it's a bit of a struggle. Although if you haven't looted any of the area you spawn in, probably be right as well. So yeah, that's how cheat death works. It's a brutal thing really, but if you want to use it, you gotta live with the penalties of it pretty much. Okay. If you, just for the sake of argument, we can die again, and you can see the third penalty, which is pretty much just more health. So we just pass time, and usually I think around a day passes. So when we die now, I think it'll say 9 days for the Cougar. We'll do cheat death again, and we'll choose far away. So we'll spawn in like Black Rock or something, like permanent this time. Far away, and it was it 60% permanent, something I clicked this time. 50, and then we spawn in Ash Canyon, yeah, 2 regions away again, and now we have this permanent cheated death penalty where half of my health is gone, and some time has passed, but not long. Yeah, so that's how it works. You take a massive penalty, but that's how it is. Do you know how the permanent condition loss is done with a runner has frostbite? That's a great question. I don't know actually. It does cure your current afflictions, including severe lacerations, so maybe it fixes it.
What do we have here?
But I don't know. Great question. We have to figure that out. Okay. That is it. We're gonna die here. I'm not gonna keep this run, obviously. Yeah, so that's how it works. Die here, so this run is over. So that's it for that demonstration. We survived 27 days, kind of thing. By the way, those of you with eagle eyes, before we talk about misery, let me just clarify before anyone says anything. I have not survived 70 days on misery. No. That's just like a playtest thing. Very simply put, I was doing a playtest where for some reason one of the afflictions I was testing didn't trigger, and then I decided to use a mod to skip ahead like 30 days or whatever it was, just to see if it would trigger later, and it didn't, so it was just a bug. But then the game logged that I had survived 70 days, but I have not survived 70 days. It was just to test things during the playtesting, without going into detail about it. The real number is 0, because I haven't played it since launch. So this really should be 0. Okay. What's your thought about the new region? It's like HRV meets Ash Canyon. The new region is amazing. I love it. It's great. It's smaller than you think. It seems massive, but it's actually not too complicated. I have a video coming out on it tomorrow. We can go there today if you like, but I know the region now, so I know where to go and that sort of thing. But it's a very tough region. It's very cold. There's loads of timberwolves, like loads of them, and there's not that much loot really either. But it's a cool design. I really like it. It's very, very cool. You can easily survive there once you know the map. It's a very hard region to survive without map knowledge. There are other regions where map knowledge doesn't matter that much. Forsaken Airfield is a great example. Forsaken Airfield, I survived there blind. You can easily survive Forsaken Airfield with no map knowledge. Just because when you get to Forsaken Airfield and spawn there, there's this like one major loot location in the middle of the map that you can see from everywhere. So if you spawn in like, oh, the airfield, let's go there then. And then you find tons of stuff, including matches. so you can just go from there. So for second effort, it's pretty easy if you have no idea of anything. Tone and contamination is a bit harder, but there's a lot of matches there too, but it's a little bit harder. Once you get to mine, it's pretty easy. But Sunlit Pass, without revealing what happens in tomorrow's video, is much harder blind, because things are really spread out, things are really cold, and there's not that many places to loot either. But it's a great area. I really like it. Let's do a couple questions before we talk about misery here. The bug is still there, according to Hintland's announcement. Oh, really, Archimines? Okay. Alright. Oh, spoiler, I told them about that, but I guess this is why you have playtesters, you know, but they have time to fix it, because no one has survived that long now, unless someone has grinded it, you know. Someone asked a question, sorry. The Cougar isn't completely random. Well, I think there are hidden timers. I don't think the Cougar can attack you again right away. I think there's like, it has to wait at least an hour or two, and I think it won't attack you if you're in a place where it can't escape. Yeah, no worries, James. Thank you for being here. Okay, so should we do misery then? If you want, we can do the new region on whatever difficulty interloper. I'm pretty sure I can survive on interloper. It's not that hard when you know the map. Or we can do misery. So misery, I am going to make a series about it, which will probably be out this week. So you will see more of misery from me very soon. So if I start a misery run now, it won't be like the main one, but I can do it just to explain what happens if you want. It's not a big deal. New region. I was going to do misery, but we can do a poll if you want. It looks like a lot of people wants to see the region rather than misery. How do I do polls? Let's see. Clip, manage goals. Polls. There's someone on there. This manage poll. We can do a poll. I might do misery regardless, but let's just have a look. Misery or okay. Just to mess with you, I made a poll. So here's the poll. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, you have to visit the region before you spawn there. I unlock it. I unlocked it during playtesting, so I can go there now. So vote for misery or new region, and if you're confused, you can do this third option. I should have put longer than a minute actually. Oh well. It seems like most people want misery though. Alright, so Kathy Bates won. Misery and going. We could maybe do both. We could do both because I don't think we'll survive very long in misery. Oh, we don't have time for it, but we can maybe do both. But yeah, most people want to do misery. So if you didn't get that, by the way, Kathy Bates is the actor in the movie Misery. So yeah. Well, yeah, what we can do is, a lot of people just Google Kathy Bates. Okay, so we'll do misery, at least for a bit, and then we can maybe go to the new region. We can see. Okay. And I can explain how misery works. Let's go back to chat. Okay, so we got this new misery mode. So for once, thank you for the sub by the way, Knipperian, well, sorry. Finally, they made something for interloper players. They almost never do that because the average player is not an interloper player. It's unfortunately a little bit skewed in the sense that if you watch content creators, as in streamers, most content creators in the long run play interloper. It gives you the impression that most people play interloper, but they don't. Most people play like Voyager or maybe Stalker, and there's a fairly large chunk of people that play Pilgrim. A lot of people play Misery and a lot of Interloper, and some people find Interloper easier after tutorials like the one I've made, but not just me, other people too. So they very rarely add things with Interloper in mind, but it does happen. And with Interloper, initially they thought people wouldn't really survive on Interloper. The idea was you're supposed to die. There's actually an interview with Raph from like 2015 that I've seen where he says that everyone will die. The whole point is that the game gets harder and harder until you just die, which they never implemented, or if they did, they just underestimated the player base. The little one sleeping here. But instead you got people who conquered Interloper. So I've survived 1,000 days on Interloper, people have survived much longer than that, and there's a pretty large chunk of people who find Interloper pretty easy. Not risk-free, but easy. So they made Misery mode eventually to make it harder than Interloper for those people who found Interloper too easy, or people who just want another challenge. So let me just say first, if you don't like Interloper, you're not gonna like Misery, because it's way worse than Interloper. And they recruited the four of us, so me, Athena, Thomasina, and Hadrian, to test it, because we're all veteran Interloper players, and we know we have different communities, and they took us in to playtest Misery, and the idea was to give feedback on the mode. And the idea was that I don't want to talk too much about the details of the playtesting because I want to keep things confidential in respect to Hinterland. So I'm not going to say exactly what I said, what the feedback was, and the process and that sort of thing. I will say though that it was a great experience, and that Raph and Katie, who we communicated with, were fantastic. And I don't think I've ever spoken that much to the developers before. It's like dozens of emails back and forth. Very, very nice people. But one thing I will say was that the idea with this mode was that you will die. That the game is meant to be harder and harder and harder the longer you play this mode, to the point where you just die. And the idea was to see how far can you survive. As I said in the dev diary, we're talking about dozens of days, not hundreds of days. Well, one thing I did say to the developers that I think is fine that I say is that when I play tested, I said, I think most people will die in this, but there will be some people will master this mode. People like Perfect Trip, Once and Only, Slit Holmes, Big Fish, Kimiota, Archimedes, who's a Bashrobe, basically Blades, TLD. Basically anyone who plays Nogoa and has mastered it will probably master this mode too. But this mode is worse than Nogoa. It is worse. I can explain a bit about it before we head into it. Did you ask for a Ken? That would be cool. I would love that. But no. Thank you for the gifted sub, Jade. So, I can explain more about Mystery as we play it. But the idea is that it gets harder and harder over time. And at the end of it, which I don't know exactly when it happens, but it's around 40, 45 days or something, you get this final affliction. So the way it works is you get 6 afflictions that are permanent. The first and last one are set. So the first affliction you get happens on day 1, as in 24 hours later. So you have 1 day without afflictions. And the first affliction kicks in, and it's always the same affliction. Then the next 4 afflictions can happen randomly at any order and at any given time. There probably are hidden timers, like don't think you get 1 affliction and the next day you get the other one. It's probably like a hidden like 5-day timer or something. But then you can get them, and then you get a final affliction. I don't know exactly when it is. I mean, I know what it used to be in playtesting, but they changed it. But I assume it's like day 40 or 50 or something, you get the final affliction. And the idea is from that point onwards, you're just dead. But the reality is that if you know what you're doing, you can survive, but you are on a knife's edge. One mistake and you will die. It's worse than Nogoa because when you get the final affliction, you cannot heal at all in any way, shape or form. In Nogoa, which if you don't know what Nogoa is, what is he talking about? Nogoa is a custom difficulty where you set everything to max difficulty, including health regeneration, like an Aztec sleep. But on Nogoa, you can still recover health with stims. And you can also recover health with pies. On Misery, you can't do that. So that means that eventually you get to a state in this mode where health loss is permanent. There is no way to regenerate it whatsoever. So if you you got out there and you lit that fire a second too late and you lost 2% health,
What do we have
gone
here?
forever. No recovery. And then that means that a single mistake will severely penalize your run, and you're very likely to die. Now, all that being said, I am sure that some people will master this mode, which is why Raf said in the video that he believes some people will conquer it, but most people won't. It's too hard, and you are at such a knife's edge all the time that a single mistake will cost the whole run. And in my opinion, the way to beat this mode is to play it by preparing in advance. So this is the kind of mode that is very unlikely you will conquer it on your first attempt. It will take multiple attempts for you to get a feel for the afflictions in the game.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Oh wow! Thank you so much for the gifted for the 5-figure gifted subs, Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous, whoever you are. Thank you for that.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
You have to play this one several times to get a feel for exactly what the afflictions are, how they impact your gameplay, and then you got to prepare for the late game and set it up in advance. It's the only way you can really conquer it. And when you get to the late game, you have to do a lot of management as well. But it is possible in theory to do it. So yeah, that was a lot of information, and I didn't even give many details.
Thanks
you know,
for the vote of confidence.
it's very, very, very tough. Okay, so let me just quickly see if I missed anything. I tend to look at the camera rather than the chat. Was anything I missed?
Thanks for the
thank
vote
you
of
for coming
confidence.
in, and thank you for the subscription, Fast Enough. 1,000 days first try. Yeah, imagine that. Hey, we got a hype train going. Hey, cool. Thank you,
We have here.
Lerp.
Hey Zach, looking good. Hope all is well with you and the fam.
Oh.
Laughing face.
Thank
What do
you,
we have
Lerp.
here?
Lerp's one of my mods as
Cheer
well.
one, cheer 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 one.
Thank you so much, Jade, as well. Chair one. I didn't know it did that. Oh wow, thanks Twitch. Twitch just read my own rules to me. That's nice. Okay, so that's great. That's how Mystery works in principle. I'll give some more details as we play it. And I do have a run coming up. I'm going to start a... that's alright, Jade. I'm going to start a Mystery run. And I'll explain all the details there too. They will change it though, because there are some issues with it right now. But there's always issues with launch. Kalle Mandelstam also gifted 5 subs. Thank you so much for that, Kalle. And we got a new hype train level. Yay, that's really nice. That's really cool. Is Mystery Spawn fixed? I keep spawning in Pleasant Valley. Are you supposed to spawn in Pleasant Valley every time? Wait, where did you ask that? Oh, next to the plane crash. Yeah, that's you're supposed to spawn the same place every time in Mystery. Always the same place. It's to standardize things. Okay, that is great. I think before we start, I'm gonna do what I did earlier and run an ad, because I can see the timer. It's good to have this ad manager thing so I can control it. It's annoying. It's about to play one in a few minutes, so let's play one now before I start. So don't get an ad in the middle of it, because it's annoying. So I'm going to start an ad now in a second. If you don't get the ad, right? If you do, wait 30 seconds. You're not going to miss anything, okay? Except for this hype train.
You have a good heart.
Thank you so much. We got Pam with 5 gifted subs as well. Thank you so much, Pam. You're too kind. You're also one of my Patreons. That's really, really kind of you. And Levig with some bits as well. And Jade is going crazy with another 5 gifted subs. Make sure you keep some money for yourself, Jade. I don't want you to get poor. You know. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You know, I don't stream very often, and it's not a major income, but it does help after becoming a family man, especially. You know, there's a lot of new expenses, and it helps. Although I always put some aside for stream things. I need a new headset, for example. This one is literally falling apart. This cushion is about to fall off. I need to buy a new headset. So I try to use some
what do we have here?
Gaming revenue for that. So that some of the money you give me, whether it's bits or subscriptions or donations, goes kind of back to the channel and therefore back to you, the viewer. That's kind of how I try and do it. And we got 500 bits from Fast Enough, and 5 gifts from Trooper Barry, and we're level 6 hype train. This is crazy. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, Trooper Barry. Maybe younger plenty, don't worry, but okay, well. Thanks, Jade. You're too kind. Yeah, maybe, I can't, maybe.
You have a good heart.
Hype train emoji, yeah. I think the highest hype train I've ever had is level 9, I think. But it goes to 25, I think. If we're doing a wish list of streaming gear or stuff. That's a cool idea. I don't even know how you do that. I'm not very good at streaming. When I started content for The Long Dark, I did initially do streaming only. No, that's not true. I did the streaming and then I did the occasional YouTube video, like maybe 1 video per month on YouTube. But I mostly streamed, but I never made like a fancy setup or something.
What do we have here?
You're about to beat your last record. Okay, so guess it is. So I don't really have any fancy like setup, but if I wanted to stream more often, which is possible to do, I need to put more effort into making the stream itself nice. I need to get some stuff, like I need to get the second monitor. I don't have that, I just use the laptop. I need to get a new headset for this one's breaking. And I need to get the
You have a good heart.
What's it called? Not projector. What's it called, projector? Prompter. Thomasina has one. I don't know if you ever noticed, when you watch Thomasina, when she's playing, she always does this. That's because she's looking up at chat. It's like a camera, so we can actually put a script. So when you watch YouTube videos and people look in the camera, they're actually looking at the script. It's like a TV prompter, but you can actually use it as a camera, a web camera that has chat as well. All this sort of stuff you can do. So I would need all those things, but I don't know how to set up wish lists and that sort of thing. In general, though, you know, I try and put income revenue aside for these sort of things if I can. Anyway, I'm going on. I missed some stuff here. So,
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Mr. Magoo subscribed. Thank you so much. Tyrell24 subscribed, and Ghost Arya rated with 10 people. Thank you so much and welcome in, Ghost Arya. What's going on with the Hobbits there?
What do we have here?
Yeah, this is the best time for commercials, yeah. It gives me a stream deck. Yeah, the stream deck is another thing I should really have. Wow, the notifications are way behind. Like, really behind. Nice to see you stream. I only watched your YouTube. Decided to get back to Lognite myself. Yeah, great. Hope you enjoy it. Life is strange. Okay. Well, we can see if this hype train continues. If it goes to the next level, it beats the record. But if it does go to the next level, it goes on for another 4 minutes or something. But in any case, thank you everyone. I got some massive gifted subs there. And thank you so much. I do appreciate it. It does help. It does. And I do appreciate it. So thank you very much. And I'll try and invest some of it in stuff for the channel as well. I would like to stream more often. It would be cool to be Twitch partner. You get a lot of benefits from that. And I think I could be a Twitch partner because you need an average of 75 viewers, and I tend to have 150 to 300. But to be a Twitch partner, you need to stream 12 days a month. And that's realistically not going to happen unless it's at the expense of YouTube. I would have to release a lot less videos for that. So unless I take time off work or something, so it's unlikely, but I will try and stream more often. Okay, right, let's get into Misery then. So that was a bit of a tangent, talking about other things while the hype train was going on. Thank you everyone, the hype train is about to end, so we got to level 6, I think. There we go. No, 7, okay, great, nice. I was way too kind. Thank you for all the subs and the bits as well. It's way too kind. I hope you got some nice emotes and things. That would be nice. Thanks. I don't think I'll ever stream the Road to 500 because the problem with that is it will break the immersion. Because the main reason people like the series like that is that you don't have camera and you don't have chat and pauses and interacting with chat. You will find that annoying, which is why usually if you just upload the VOD from the stream, it's not very popular. So if I take this VOD now, especially if it's unedited and upload it, it might get a couple thousand views maybe, but it will get severely less than anything else because it's not as fun for the casual viewer. It's better to take highlights from a stream and show those, not so much the entire thing. So I don't think that's going to happen. The only exception would be something like if maybe I reach 500 days, maybe I'll stream day 501, something like that. That might happen. Yeah. That's great, Eddie7. I'm glad you are doing well on Intlo, but that's awesome. I also need you to watch. Yeah, that's another thing. And also some people fall asleep to videos. That's a whole thing. I think 1/3 of my viewers or something. And then sometimes students as well. Yeah, thanks, Pam. Okay. Let's get into Mystery then. To the massive tangent there. So, as I explained, Mystery is really hard. I gave you the gist of it. Let's do a run. We'll see how far we go. If you have time, we'll show the new region as well, but we have to see how far we get. Let me just, this is annoying me. Okay, I guess it's right. as a Corsair, I love Corsair. I think the sound is incredible. But it's breaking. I tend to buy the same headset when it breaks because I like it. When I got these, when I played PUBG, it changed the whole world. It's like, oh, I can hear the enemy over there now. Anyway, stream celebration completion. Yes, August. That sort of thing. If I get to 500 days, then I might stream the next day or something like that. I do have students fall asleep in class, but not often, just sometimes. Yeah. Take a nap in the chair. The Cougar will hunt us before 500 days. I teach psychology primarily, sometimes esports. Okay, so we're going to do Misery. I'll explain more how it works as we get on. There will be a video about Misery out maybe on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday probably, I don't know. I'll do it in more detail, and I'll make an overview video about it at some point, but not right now. They need to iron out some stuff anyway. Jade. That happens to me when I'm abroad. Okay, so we want to choose Astrid here for reasons that will become obvious later, and we'll call this what's his name? Is it James Calm? I get it. Alright, so now we're gonna hop into Misery. So unless they changed it, they shouldn't have changed it. On Misery, you always spawn the same place. You spawn in the destroyed cabin in Pleasant Valley by the plane crash, and that's to average it out for all players. Because if you spawn in Misery in Hushra Valley and you're a veteran interloper player, you're going to do a lot better than someone who spawns in Desolation Point. If you could choose your spawn, the best one is either Ash Canyon or Mystery Lake for this, I would say. But that doesn't matter. So we're going to... pre-roll ads? What? Go away. I don't want ads on my channel. No, or at least as few as possible. Anyway. So we are going to spawn now in Pleasant Valley, and we'll take it from there. So touching the draft. There we are. So it's always the same. You always spawn right here. Okay, we're just going to pause it right here, and I'll explain to you the thought process. So this is a destroyed building. Normally this building is up. This is the Draft Dodger's cabin, which for a while actually was called Coastal House. It was a bug. Oh, I got an emote. Around. And you always spawn here. And you actually have to make your first decision right here, because there are different things you can do. You could now go up to the plane crash and you can get a load of gear. But you might get frostbite before you get indoors, because you have to just hope you get hats and gloves and that sort of thing. So yeah, fishing cabin, it might be a fishing cabin. So you could do that, but it's a bit risky. You could go to the farm, but the farm doesn't really have anything. In this mode, there's less loot than Interloper, and some of the guaranteed loot has been removed. So I don't have a complete overview of it. I didn't go that far. I didn't loot the entire world in my playtesting or anything. But for example, in Pleasant Valley Farm, the can opener is not there anymore, for example. As far as I know, Target, there are no other houses burned. It's just this one. So I don't think so. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got some new emojis on this channel, by the way, from Peach, who's in chat. Things like, this stuff. I finally decided to add, thanks to Pixelated Peach, who's in chat right now, I think. Check them out. Yeah, she does great stuff. Some of them are on t-shirts and stuff, like this one. We made this one. Yeah. Okay, so there are different things you can do now, but in my opinion, the best, if you don't care about frostbite, you can go loot the plane. I didn't even know I had those sound things, but thank you for the bits. But I think, in my opinion, it's better to get the stim, which is there, and then go to Thompson's Crossing for the matches. The loot tables are, as far as I can tell, the same as Interloper, but with modified loot, as far as I know. Okay, we're just going to hop into it and we'll go from there. So, day 1 of Misery, and only day 1, is pretty much the same as Interloper. There isn't really a major difference to it. The world is a bit colder, probably, and that's more or less it. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. Oh, you can maybe find a can opener in the farm, but it's not guaranteed anymore. And on some of my tests, I went up and looted the plane crash first to get the clothing there. But the problem with doing that is that unless you find hats and gloves, you're very likely to find hats, by the way, but not necessarily gloves. You are at high risk of getting frostbite. It's pretty high, because you need fire eventually. So the better option is to head to Thompson's Crossing. You can do it via the farm though, just to loot the stuff at the farm. And then you have basically 24 hours before the afflictions start kicking in. And the afflictions are pretty bad. They all impact your gameplay in some major way. And the first affliction you get is always the same affliction. I can't remember what it's called. I haven't learned the names yet. But basically what the affliction does is that it reduces your carry capacity and stamina. So then you have to make a decision. Do you want to go to Ash Canyon to get the backpack and mitigate the loss of carry capacity? Or do you want to go somewhere like Ashura Valley and try and find the hammer and that sort of thing on the way? So you got to make a tactical choice because the spawn's always the same. Oh, and by the way, birch bark works. Birch bark works just normally.
This is so cold.
Until they disable it, basically. So birch bark will work like anything else. It will recover health for you. Eventually, you're unable to recover health, in which case birch bark doesn't work anymore. But you can still use tea, birch bark tea, to get calories and to warm up. So there is that. Okay. Crumbling form on, yeah, something. I vaguely know the names. So the sour stomach affliction, how does that work with food poisoning? So basically the way it works, what kills this run in Misery is sour stomach and broken body. Broken body is the last affliction, which basically means you're very weak, but it basically means that you can't heal. And sour stomach can give you food poisoning. So that means that whenever you get food poisoning, even if you're very, very fast, you're likely to lose a little bit of health. And in time, you're just going to start losing health. And that's how that works. And the way sour stomach works as an affliction is that it basically removes your immunity to food poisoning. So when you're cooking level 5, as I'm sure most of you know, when you get cooking level 5, you become immune to food poisoning. And you also become immune to parasites. Now, as far as I know, the parasite risk you're still immune to. But when you get the sour stomach affliction, the game basically ignores your immunity, if you are cooking level 5, that is. So you can still get food poisoning from anything that would normally give you food poisoning. You're not going to get food poisoning from other things that you don't get food poisoning from, like a soda can, for example. But anything that would normally give you food poisoning can give you food poisoning, and there's an increased chance of it as well. Now in the early game, that doesn't very matter. Hey, antibiotics. Boru. It doesn't really matter too much in the early game because you can recover, but in the late game it does matter because, as many of us do, we hunt and then we put meat outside the base and it just stays there and it gets ruined, and then you think, I don't care about ruined meat. I got level 5 cooking. Nom 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 nom. You eat the meat and you eat the food. But with Misery, if you do that, you get food poisoning. And then you lose health and you eventually die. So that means that on Misery, you need to eventually start maintaining your food a lot more frequently. You need to get fresh food and you need to cook it often. Fish will be a major factor because fish also has vitamins in it. So Misery requires a lot more upkeep than Interloper does, and even Nogoa. So this mode is meant to kill you. You can survive it. In theory you can survive forever, but you're not going to. Let me quickly see if there's anything. I'm missing some of the chat, I'm sorry, but yeah. Can you still aim rocks? Yeah, you can. You got bloody hands, but that is normal. Yes, so Misery mode is basically for those who think Interloper is too easy, and it removes a lot of the strategies people use in the game. We're not going to stay here very very long, but we will stay here. Also, there is no cheat death on this mode. When you're dead, you're dead. And the Cougar is not optional. And the Cougar timer is only really 10 days or so. So you don't have much time. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that the loot is more or less like Interloper.
This'll come in handy.
In the sense that it's like pseudo-random, but there is a loot table. But then they change some of the stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's turned off. We'll do that later. Let's just put it on now to warm up. We need the gloves. Snares. Yeah, snares is a good idea. Because then you can get rabbits and you can just eat lots of rabbits, really. You can easily make a snare farm, yeah. Hey, can opener! Random can opener. Hurrah! This is actually, believe it or not, this is the first Misery run where I found a can opener at the farm. I mean, I may have missed it other times, but I don't think so. That is very lucky. But I did do a different run where I went to Thompson's Crossing and I found a can opener on the kitchen counter, and then in the drawer underneath the can opener there was a second can opener. So that also happened once. Yeah, that's lucky.
Okay.
So some luck will still play in here. Ketchup chips. I miss ketchup chips. I only had it the one time. They were not bad. You can't get them in Norway, ketchup chips. But some of my viewers sent me ketchup chips a few years ago. Slick's Subversive and the gang. I don't think Slick is here, unfortunately. But Graffin is here. Graffin, you should go get Slick. Ketchup chips tasted very similar to salt and vinegar. So if you like salt and vinegar chips or crisps, then it's the same. Are there cougars in Norway? No, but there are lynxes in Norway. They are extremely shy though. Like you'll never see one. Okay, I think we could sleep here for an hour just to get our warmth up a little bit. Let's put on our hat. Shoes are probably better, not actually worse. Okay. And I didn't actually loot the bathroom, did I? I think I forgot about the bathroom. I did. Take the water. Well, I mean, ketchup is sweet, but ketchup crisps weren't sweet, I thought. They were nice, though. I liked them. Yeah, can opener is a big win. We'll sleep for 2 hours, I think. The recipes heal you after 5th affliction. You mean after 6th affliction? No. Before that, they can heal you. I believe they can at least. I'm not sure if I tested that exact detail, but I think so. Poland, huh? I've been to Poland, but like 20 years ago. Make some gloves. Yeah, we could, but we don't have a sewing kit. Jerry can. Alright. Let's quickly check the barn here. Sometimes there's stuff in here. I want to make it to the... Hey, private! Sweet. I want to make it to the rural store before it gets dark. Because otherwise it's a real pain to find the matches. You can find the matches in the dark in the rural store. But it's difficult. This looks like it's going to become a blizzard. Get down from the Blackrock mine. Profit. I'm just gonna call you Profit. Yeah, you can go down. I've done it. It's a little painful, but you can go down. Just go to the right of the ropes and hug the wall. You have to be careful though, but you can do it. It is possible. So, I'm not sure, but when you hear that music, that kind of ominous music there, I think that might mean that an affliction is coming. The first one will happen 24 hours after though, so it's going to happen in the next day. But it's possible to signals it because that was something we were wondering if they were going to do, if there's going to be some sort of queue if the afflictions are coming, and I don't know if they have that or not. But it would be cool if there was some sort of sign that an affliction might be coming, since it's random after the first one. But I don't know if they have that. I don't know. But that was something that was suggested.
I need to find some place to escape this cold.
Yeah, you can go down that rope. It's difficult, and you probably will take damage doing it, but you can do it. So this mode is basically Nogoa. So in Nogoa, everything is set to max. Like you have more wolves, you have less loot, things are colder, and everything like that. And this is basically the same, plus afflictions. Of course, in Nogoa you can have a random spawn, or you can choose your spawn, and you spawn in a blizzard and this and that. You don't have that here. But other than that, it is worse than Nogoa in my opinion. It is. In the long run, maybe they will enable that you can turn on the afflictions in custom, in which case people will of course make a custom game that's worse than this. That's for sure. But at the moment it is worse than a Goa. I think it's not quite as bad in terms of some of the loot, so fewer plants, yeah, I'm not sure, but when I have played it, I haven't really noticed that there's fewer plants or fewer saplings. So I think they may have kept that one in. Loot-wise, though, it's definitely worse. Yeah, achievement, survive 10 hours. If they had an achievement for this, it would be the same as the interloper, I guess. Okay. You probably don't need this sulfur. Okay, so we're not far away from having to make a decision here. But first, let's get the stim. So the stim is here. It's guaranteed. So we're going to grab that. Let's see here. I always open these, but there's nothing in here. Stim is upstairs. Anything here? We got a... Oh, sorry, done. It's not a mega torch. Got mega wood, though. That sounds really weird out of context. Mega wood. Okay, anyway. So up here, this should be the stim. There it is. So this one's guaranteed. And then we can open this and just get random loot. So what's your idea for Misty? Run through every region once, grab what you can, and leave a lot there. No, you need to get hunting as soon as possible to get as good a gear as you can.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. So this is this happens. This is not meant to be in Misery. Although the icon has someone with a hunting knife in it, but that's just a coincidence. So this happens whenever there is a content patch. A major one, you tend to get loot in difficulties that aren't supposed to be there. Those of you who have watched my videos know that in my Road to 500 Day run, I have a collection of items that are not supposed to be there. So I have a hunting knife, I have some bullets, and I have cardboard matches, none of which are supposed to spawn on Interloper. At least not rifle bullets, raw bullets can. So that happens. This will go away eventually. I'm not going to use this because obviously you wouldn't use it. So we're going to do is this. We're just going to drop it. The difficult thing when the game is in this state where you do get loot that's unintended is that sometimes it gives you loot and you're not sure if it's intended or not, because it might have an invisibility thing and it's like, oh, well, you can get that loot on Interloper, so maybe it's intentional, but you don't know. Is that a pry bar? It is a pry bar. We don't need two though. Drop one. And we are good weight-wise for now. Finding the relics. Yeah, I haven't done the tails, but I don't mind tail spoilers personally. I don't really care about it, but other people might. I missed some chocolate, really? Ah, thanks, Jericho. That was chocolate. Was there chocolate up here?
Wait. It's so cold. I'm warming up a bit.
When? Ah. Granola bar. Rolled oats, honey, almonds, pecans, salt, cinnamon, and tocopherols. Oh. Oh, come on. You're not meant to take damage from that. Not vegan, exactly, because there's honey in it. And also the ingredients have gone feral. Tocopherol. Alright. Okay. We're gonna go to Royal Store to get the matches. I think I left the book, yeah, but I don't care about the book. So, over time, people will kind of master a strategy for this run, for this mode. But you have to make decisions. You can go to Ash Canyon, but you can always go to Ash Canyon later. But you basically, in my opinion, what you need to do to master this is you treat it almost like Interloper in the beginning. You need to get the bow. You need to start compiling resources. And basically, not necessarily have a stockpile of food. You need to have some food stored. But you need to have a lot of resources so you can acquire food in the late game. So you need to set up for fishing, snares, and hunting. And make lots of water and that sort of thing. So that when you get to all of the afflictions, you are in a spot where you can just stay safe all the time. You have enough wood, so you don't take any warmth damage. You can hunt whenever you want. And you need to be able to move, because the Cougar will come as well every 10 days or so. So there's a lot of maintenance in the late game. But it's perfectly possible to do. But it's the sort of thing that you need a few runs to get a feel for it. So I've done a few runs, but many of my runs were deliberately cut short. Like I ended it after a few days because I felt, okay, now I tried this and now I tried that. Now I discovered this. And I very quickly got a feel for, okay, well, this mode works like this. I'm pretty sure, you know, Perfect Trip will survive this. So that sort of thing, you know. But it's pretty sure that people will survive this mode, but most people won't, because it's really, really tough. Hey, farmers! Hurrah! We don't have to go to Misty Falls picnic area. I'm gonna go past there into Roll Store. More trophies there. Okay, so we're gonna get the matches before it gets too dark. They're in here. These are guaranteed matches. Yes, there's a flask spawn there. Usually you find a flask spawn in Misty Picnic Falls, whatever, that area, Misty Falls picnic area, but you can also find it there. Okay, so here we are. We got the guaranteed oats, so we make porridge. I eat a lot of porridge these days. Matches are here. If the matches are not here, for some reason, the matches are not here, they can usually be found either here, or here, or here.
I would drink almost anything.
That's what they will
about
do.
now.
Okay, so you can find them in the dark. It's just a little bit of faff to do, but you can do it. Take the stump remover for now, spray paint too, but we're going to drop a lot of this stuff soon. Will you make mystery mode YouTube Let's Play series? I will definitely do that, yes. Probably this week. Can you set the afflictions to happen? I don't think in custom you can... okay, it has the music again, so the music does not indicate an affliction, so we can forget about that. Well, this is different music though. But yeah, I don't think at the moment you can do any of the afflictions on custom. Maybe in the long run you can. They do sometimes add these sort of things. At the moment you can't. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about the sewing kit. Thank you. I was faffing about with the matches and I forgot about it, sorry. Yeah, I saw it. Or rather, I sew it. That's what Julius Caesar said, you know. I came, I sew, and I put it on. Potato also I forgot to pick up. Got distracted showcasing things. That's the problem when you narrate a lot, you miss things. Alright, let's go to the community hall. Yes. So the first affliction is going to kick in about 12 hours. You spawn in the morning somewhere. I can't remember exactly where. Actually, before we go to the community hall, let's go in here. Into the Canada house. And then I'll talk more about the affliction after I've looted all this stuff. So in here there's wood, salt, and potato. This is where I found 2 can openers. I will be looking for clothing, but Misery is colder than Interloper. In one of my testing ones, I was out in a storm in Pleasant Valley. Not a blizzard, just a storm. And it was minus 100 degrees Celsius in Pleasant Valley. On like day, whatever that was, day 7 or something. That's insane. The second one is more or less random.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Pam. So there is an argument that, yeah, you need to get clothing, but it only helps so much because it's really cold. Yeah, casual.
Oh, I've never been so hungry in my life.
Oh, it's a seagull outside my house. Like, what is that? Someone pushing an old trolley, or, you know? Seagulls. I'm just throwing in random references.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Thank you, Nocturnal Druid, for the subscription for 9 months on a row. Then you're one of the people who contribute to my Twitch when I'm not streaming, because sometimes I go months without streaming, and then I always get a message, oh, you've had like 8 subs or whatever this month. And I'm like, really? I know one of them is Slick, though. Slick has like, whatever, 50 months or something? Something insane like that. Slick is an OG. Shame she's not here. Hey, Big Fish is here too. How are you doing, Big Fish? Are you excited for this update, Fish? Big Fish, who's in the chat right now, or B1G F1S4, as he's also known as, casually, is one of the people who probably will master this mode. So keep an eye on him, give him a shout out, and check him out. Because he probably, if you are playing this, that is, Fish, I'm not sure if you how active you are these days, but if you are, you probably will figure this mode out. There you go. Yeah, you're on it already. You're there up to like day 250, right? Alright, so we're going to loot some stuff in here, get the recipe.
God, if I don't warm up soon.
Well, thank you for all the follows. I don't have follow notifications on because they can't tend to drown the subscriptions and stuff, so I don't see them. But thank you.
I am so thirsty, I can't think straight.
Okay. Nothing in there. And let's loot here. Here we got Misc Loot, and we got transfer a cooking skillet. I'm still cold. That's not fun. How's hypothermia? No, fine. Oops, same one. Yeah, I can think of at least half a dozen, maybe a dozen people. Yeah, I can probably think about a dozen people that I think can master this mode. Basically anyone who does Nogoa or Outer Nogoa or all those sort of things. They can do it. I think. Hey, soup. Day 18, very nice. Skillet is here. An aquapole. Here's the skillet. Easy to miss. Carrot. Where's the recipe actually? Let's see the recipe. We'll find it later. We don't really need the recipe, that was the thing, but
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
where is it? There it is. Was I think so. So I would -1 if I found this, and these are words. Yeah. Okay, let's just warm up a little bit before we start a fire. And then we'll make a fire and make, if we need to. Actually, I don't know if we need to be honest. I sleep for 1 hour. We might actually just be able to sleep here, to be honest. Come to think of it. Hey, 5 Nax, thank you for the subscription.
What do we have here?
Okay, so how much food do I have? Because we do want to go for well fed in this mode. We can probably be right. We'll probably eat all these carrots. Okay, so before we sleep,
Man, I could
let's just talk about this first affliction. So the first affliction, what it does is that it reduces your sprint and your carry capacity, and it reduces it by 5. So we will go down from 30 to 25. So you can carry less stuff. Because of that, you could go to Ash Canyon right away to get the backpack and basically mitigate all that loss of carry weight. The only problem with going to Ash Canyon is that there's not much else to grab there. Like, you go via the Mountaineer's Hut, and you obviously go via Angler's Den, and then that's more or less it. If you find a hacksaw, you can go to Summit and Summit early, which is great. But if you don't find a hacksaw, it's kind of a wasted trip. So it's a bit of a risk. You got to choose really what you want to do. Do you want to go and do that, or do you want to go get the hammer and that sort of thing first? I personally kind of lean towards getting the backpack, just because then you can carry things easier. The drawback though is that getting the backpack will probably take at least like 3 days or something. And that's 3 days lost where you're not curing a sapling or something. So it's probably better to get the backpack while things are curing, probably. So that's the main argument for not doing it. Okay.
Jesus, this is cold.
You should do bear coats, I think, yeah. But we have to see. Alright, we're gonna sleep. Let's eat some food. And then go to bed. That's great, thank you, 5 Nax. I'm glad you enjoyed the videos. Okay, we're gonna sleep. It's a static temperature in here, so we can just sleep normally and recover some health. And we're fully rested. It's morning but still cold, and we're gonna just make a move. We're not gonna sit around and wait. We have a little bit of time. I'm not gonna save the carrots for anything because the pies don't really do much. Yeah. Let's see if I can drop something. I don't. We might need the frozen angler, maybe. We don't need the spray pan. We don't need the recycling can. We don't need the stump remover, and that, at least not now. Maybe later. I guess that's it for now. Okay. One problem is I can't really see. So we can pass a little bit of time first, make some teas. I can get out though, but it's a little bit of a faff, so might as well just do this. And then maybe we can see a bit. Do I have bandages? No. So let's make a bandage then. Vitamin C and cabin fever is also in it, but it's not harder, it's just it's the same. Okay. We should be able to get out just going right there and then this way, I think, right? Oops, cardboard box. I mean, we could actually break down the cardboard box, why not? Get some tinder. And then the way out is right there. Alright, so we're going to leave the region, I think, rather than going to Ash Canyon.
I could eat a horse.
And we'll just make do. We're not going to loot anymore here. We will go to... We'll do the Hush River Valley route. I'm not sure how much you can do in the new region, by the way. I don't think I'll be streaming that much longer. So we're going to head to, I think, Mystery Lake. So you treat it more or less like a regular interloper run, but you do need to prepare for the long game. It's a little bit different once you get the bow, because the bow then allows you to be sustainable. But I think though it is possible. We also need to find gloves and that, and there's more loot this way. We could go to the plane crash though, but we won't do that. In my video, when I do my video run, I will maybe go to Ash Canyon instead. We'll see. Anyway, yeah. Arguably, you could succeed in playing misery mode without the bow. Because the bow basically allows you to hunt more things, and it does allow you to craft more things too. But because you have to hunt more often than an interloper, maybe snares and fishing is more important. Fishing especially, because of a scurvy. In the late game, the late game, I think the way you beat this mode is to have loads of wood and just fish and eat fish and pass time and eat the fish. Cougar happens, move to another region, do the same thing. But you got to be very careful with the cold. No hacksaw now. Draft dodges should always be burned down. Always. So if it's not, then it's just one of those launch bugs. Sometimes bugs with a launch last for a long time. Normally, whenever they release a content patch, over the next 1 to 2 weeks, they fix the vast majority of things. So loot, things like loot that's not supposed to be there, bugs that are not working, you know, they tend to fix them pretty fast. They often release 1 or 2 hot fixes pretty quickly, where they fix the majority of things. And a good example also was even in a change, like when they added Signal Void to the game. I think they added it to Interloper within like a week, or maybe it was 2 weeks. It was really, really fast. They were really quick with adding the mode to Interloper after community feedback. But some lingered. Remember when the DLC came out? The Tales from Far Territory? And they changed it so that it was only 1 bear hide to make the coat suddenly. They're like, oh, that's kind of strange that they changed that. But, oh well, you know. I was hoping he wouldn't see me. Like, oh well, doesn't matter. And then like over a year later, they patched it and said, oh, that was a bug. So that was apparently a bug that it took forever to fix. Wildlife is not reduced, and wildlife is, as far as I know, actually increased. It's more like Stalker, where there's more wolves. How many days is late game? I would say late game in Misery, the late game is around day 40. Maybe day 50. Let's make it easy and say day 50. Day 50 onwards is the late game for Misery mode. In my opinion, anyway. Oh, I see. The hacksaw can be on the doors. I understand. Okay, yeah. Well, that's good to know. Why are my fingers so bloody? Because it's Misery. That's literally why. Get inside. Matches? Hey, DDR Jake. No luck with matches. We're just gone for the guaranteed ones. So I have matches. So very soon the affliction is going to kick in. We might be lucky and be able to go through here without light. We'll see. I might be able to get through this, but it's cold. So I'm going to make a fire here. Because... Oh, I have a torch, don't I? I found the torch, yeah. Okay, now it's actually warm, but it doesn't matter. I want to make a fire anyway. So we're going to use... Yeah, let's use the book. And it doesn't matter, because I want to cook a few things and warm up and that sort of thing. And get some torches and light. You can navigate this cave without light, though.
That didn't work.
With our meh torch, was it?
Come on, little fire.
Come on, little fire. Oh, it's turned black. I can't see it. Oh, it's gonna be an ad again soon. Let's see. Put the cedar wood on. Yeah. Let's make some stuff. That on there. Let's heat up our cans as well. First up, let's just cook our. Let's make a tea first, and let's cook a porridge. Yeah, that's a good challenge, that one. Jake, that's a good one. It does, I mean, I did the torchless one, where you're not allowed to use torches at all. And that was a major game changer as well. Because it changed completely how you would handle some situations. I might cook potatoes, but I don't think so. Hello, Germany, Jokers.
I could eat anything right now.
I think now might be a good time to run an ad as well. It's another 10 minutes before the ads start. And I'm just cooking. So now's a good time to do that. So I think we'll do the same. Let's just run an ad right now. Let's have a look at inventory. We have a lot of water, so... How long does a potato take? 48 minutes? I don't think I can be bothered with that. Yeah, well, I think we'll just leave that. Porridge. We'll just use the one porridge for now. Now we're gonna do some torches. Get some good torches, that's okay. If you got the ad, welcome back, and you didn't miss anything. Just literally me grabbing torches and cooking a little bit. That's pretty bad torch, we'll leave that. Okay, so very soon the affliction's going to hit. We're not far now. Oh, come on. We'll take it, I guess. Alright, so then we're gonna grab the coal that's in here. We got hyperthermia resecured. Yep, we're going to be diminished, as it were, very soon. There's also a deer carcass in here we can harvest, but we don't have to do that right now. How many day it is warm, yeah. You could arguably go for the deer carcasses to speed up crafting, but I am on the fence on how much crafting actually matters in this mode, because it's going to be very cold. But it depends a little bit on the late game. I do think though that it shouldn't be that cold in good weather. I think you should have to have and use a stick to pull. Yeah, that's a good one, Peach. Back in the day, you used to pull a stick out of the fire instead of a torch. They changed it. How much? 5. Let's go here too. How are you doing, DJ Jake? How's your channel going? So very soon now, we will get our first affliction. And the mystery will happen in stages. First one's hardship, but the stages don't really matter. It's the afflictions that matter. And then once it kicks in, I will be heavy. I think we'll eat our porridge soon. Oh, I see brands, that's it. The stages are just names for your progress, really. The stages don't really do anything. It's the afflictions that come with them that do something. Oh, is this going to blow out my torch? I'm heavy now anyway. Eat my porridge soon.
Man, I could eat anything.
There's no feats that I did blow out. Okay. There's no feats in this mode, so you can't use feats like fire starter and that sort of thing. So it's only so much you can do here with cheesing things out from the beginning. Yeah, my understanding of the stages, both now and then, is that they're just announcements. Yeah, they're just grouping. So you can have 2 afflictions in a stage. I think they're just meant to indicate the progression of misery. I don't think the stages themselves do anything. But I could be wrong. 64, okay, well, yeah, okay. Yeah, I think the UI is a little bit bugged, fish. I don't think it always gives the right information for the stages. It kind of blinks out. Yeah, there's bound to be bugs. It's funny that, you know, even with playtesters were like, oh, I didn't see any of these bugs. And then when they launch it, the bugs are present. Because there's some sort of interaction that we just didn't have or whatever, you know.
Anything right now.
And I always said, though, if you want to playtest, you really should get Rand to playtest, because he encounters like the weirdest things. Bedroll? Meh. If I load my current save, I'll play with the new lovely Predator be there, or they need to use mods. No, you can, if you go on your current save, you get Cougar. The tomato soup. There'll be an option that will ask you if you want to turn it on. But yeah, you can get it. It works on my machine, yeah. The only information we have about episode 5 is that it's coming out later this year. Like, if I had to guess, it's gonna come out in December or November. That'd be my guess. I think that... It's hard to say, but I think that part 6 of the DLC will come out next year.
Gotcha.
What? You got frostbite? It was at like 50%, wasn't it? I checked and it was 50% back in that cave. Oh well, doesn't matter. Like, this is a kind of demonstration run anyway. Whoops. That happened to me on an earlier run I did also with Misery. I don't know if it's a bug or not, but I had frostbite risk. It was around 40%, and then I went into a house and it was warm, and then I slept for like through the night and frostbite risk didn't go down. So even though I was warm, it didn't go down, but it did now though, which is weird. And then I went outside with 88% chance, or like it was 88%. And I went outside and it said 88, and then it said 88 some more, and then it just, I got frostbite. Come on. Come on. I don't want to use a torch unless I have to. Bye. That's a problem with equipping a stone. Yeah, I think there is a... I think frostbite might be slightly... Yeah, it might not be a bug. It might just be misery. It might also be... I don't think this is the case, but I think... but it could be that frostbite risk is just a chance of getting frostbite. It doesn't have to go to 100% to get it. It's just a chance. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just a UI thing. That sometimes it doesn't go down, and sometimes it doesn't go up, but it is going up, and that sort of thing. I think it's something like that. It'll be fixed in time. Also, sometimes it seems to go up really fast, sometimes really slow. Yeah, you can't click on resume to get the Cougar. If you go on resume, you don't get the option to choose the Cougar. You have to go on load game and click on that, and then you get the option to turn it on or off. Okay, any time now we should get our affliction. I should have made some gloves actually, because I had the sewing kit, but I just didn't think of it. So I could have just made the gloves in the farm, but I got distracted. I didn't think of it. This run is not going to continue. It's just a demonstration run. So I don't think I'm going to continue this run. I mean, maybe I will, but I don't think so. I'm also just playing it to explain what's going on and that sort of stuff. That coffee is really rare. Are you going to wildlife spawn reroll in the last... There we are. Hardship. Stage 1. And now you click here, and the stages don't show, but this shows. So here's the first affliction. You have less stamina, and carrying capacity is reduced, and also less likely to flee. So basically, if you enter a struggle with a wolf, you're unlikely to just win the fight. Can happen, of course, but so you need to actually do the whole struggle kind of thing. So that's bad. And you have less stamina. Look at my stamina meter now. That's what it looks like. It's kind of like when you wear a lot of clothing. By reality, my sprint penalty is 99. I think it's jeans is -1, yeah. So you lost a lot. If you go full bear coat, you probably can't sprint at all almost. And you can carry less. So now it's 25. I'm tired, but you lose 5 kilos. So that's the first thing. This is more of something that slows you down rather than something that's like debilitating. If that was the only thing, and then you know it's just be a slower game is all. But that's just the beginning. Yeah. Yeah, on custom mode, you don't get the option for the Cougar yet. That's also something that I need to fix. Alright, I'm gonna call the stream soon. We can only go so far here. Let's just get out of this area here. Oh, I missed when there was a wool scarf and a torch here. That was nice. Why did they stop doing that? can barely see anything. Just because I'm not going to continue this run, I'm just going to, for the sake of you viewers, light a torch. So you can see a bit better. What do you think is the longest rope climb? What do you think the longest rope climb in the game is? It's the rope leading to Mindful Cabin in Forsaken Airfield. According to Bash Rope. I didn't know that. But as I understand, that's the longest one without ledges. There might be longer ones with ledges. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. If Bash says it, it's true. Bash is great because he makes the videos on details that I can't be bothered to do. So I sometimes make tutorials. Like, hey, here's how you deal with wolves, you know, do this and do that. And hey, no problem. You can scare it off like this. No worries. And Bash is like, okay, so if you light this torch and then do that, then you have 55.3% chance of blah, blah, blah. You know, the extreme details. Breaking it down. But I think not everyone likes learning that many details because it's probably immersion breaking. For me, when Bash releases videos, I watch them, and then most of the stuff he says I already knew, or I knew it but I didn't know the nuanced details to that degree. And then sometimes the stuff is like, oh, I didn't know that. But I don't try to memorize it. I just say, oh, you know, well, there are numbers for that. I don't know what they are. Bash knows what they are. Because for me, I like mastering this game and knowing as much as possible about it. But at the same time, I don't feel a need to know or memorize every single detail. I'm fine with forgetting or not knowing certain things, because then it leads a sense of discovery, even though you kind of know the answer. So I know most things about Long Dark, and then Bashro knows them even better. That's kind of a way to say it. The Bash is the maniac. He's a doc from Back to the Future. Yeah, exactly. Isn't Bash like Slovenian or something? I can't remember exactly where he's from. Oh, really? Okay. I have been to the ropes in some of the past, but I couldn't tell you. If it is the rope I'm thinking of, then you only really need to climb the rope down. It doesn't really matter. Okay. I think I'm more or less done here with this. So it's getting late, and even though the little one is still sleeping, I don't want to stay up too late either. So I could stream for longer, but I also want to get some sleep. You know, who knows when he wakes up? The little one. All right, let's just go in here now. So that's Misery, but of course we need to play more. Hey Kunal, good to see you too. How are you doing? Okay, so let's just do a little sit rep here with Misery. So we're now on Misery day 2, and we have the first affliction, which is diminished form. So we carry less, we run less, and then from now on there'll be more afflictions coming at kind of random intervals. I don't know exactly how it works, but basically they are, I believe, pseudo-random in the sense that I don't think we'll get another affliction tomorrow, for example. But we might get one on day 5. We almost certainly will get one by day 10. So I think there's some. If I had to guess, the way they programmed it is similar to how I've done some experiment programming. Is that they say like
Guy who drank his own poison seems so crazy
the affliction
right now.
will appear within, say, 7 days plus minus 3 days or something like that, you know. So there's a small breathing room for sure, but it can be a long breathing room. And then from now on, the afflictions are in random order, except for the last one. The last one is always the last one, which is broken body. And in the meantime, the other afflictions, don't need to get into the detail of them now. I don't even remember the details of them, but the other afflictions basically make you sleep less, recover health slower, have higher chance of food poisoning, you can't eat as much, and those sort of things. And also the weather gets colder, you take longer to heat up,
It's getting kind of heavy.
and yeah, that sort of thing. And then eventually you don't regenerate health at all. So basically, on average, because there's 6 afflictions and the last one is, I don't know when the last one is, but I think it's day 40, maybe day 50. Let's just say it's day 50. I think it's before day 50, but let's just say it's day 50. Then on average, you're getting a little bit more than 1 affliction per 10 days. Call it every 8 days. So roughly once a week in game. Every week in game, you get an affliction until you have all of them. And all the afflictions drag you down. They make you walk slower, carry less, you're colder, you heal slower, you sleep less, and so on. So they make things harder. A lot of the recovery tactics you usually have an interloper, you just can't use them because they're too penalizing. So you basically have to push yourself through the survival, and then you have to plan for the long run. And I think most people who play this, if you don't play Interloper regularly, you're not gonna enjoy this either, except you might enjoy the like afflictions and that sort of thing. But if you struggle to survive 5 days on Interloper, you're not gonna find this easier. It's gonna be worse. If you find Interloper easy and you played it quite a bit and you survived hundreds of days, you probably will manage this difficulty. You may not conquer it. You probably will die eventually, but you might make it to day 30 or 50 or 60 or something like that. But if you practice enough, or if you're one of these hardcore players who play Nogoa and that sort of thing all the time, you probably can conquer this mode. Now, people like me and Thomasina and Hadrian and Athenan who playtested this, and we have now had quite a lot of experience with this mode pre-launch. You will see us play this, but I can guarantee you that despite our head start, the 4 of us are not going to be the ones that survive the longest in this mode. Keep a lookout for people like Big Fish, who's in chat, Acidic Virus, Once and Only, Imiota, Perfect Rip, Sid Holmes, Deadpool, help me out, the other and others. they probably will figure this out. Archimedes, Bashrobe, they probably will in time figure this mode out and survive for at least 100 days, probably longer. Blades TLD, yeah. So that's what this mode is. Yeah, it's a death sentence. It's basically Interloper, but every week someone grabs your feet and pulls you down and say you can keep going, but I'm going to hang on to you by your feet.
I got it.
And eventually it becomes so hard that you aren't dead, but the margins of error are so small that you're likely to die. because a single mistake can be very costly. But that's the thing, if you play a mode where a single mistake can kill you, in theory you can conquer the mode by just not making the mistake. So even though this is very hard, I'm pretty sure that some people can conquer it. I think I can conquer it myself, but whether I do it or not depends both on time and motivation. So those of you who have seen a lot of my channel, remember that back in the day, a little while ago, I had a Nogoa run where I played No One Gets Out Alive, the Nogoa custom difficulty. And I got to day 71, I think it was, where I just accidentally died, more or less. And I more or less mastered Nogoa, but I didn't really enjoy it because I found it too much maintenance for it to be fun. This mode, Misery, is more fun than Nogoa, I think, because of the afflictions. So instead of them being imposed by a custom challenge, they're actually in the game and they impact you in unique ways. So it makes it a bit more fun to play, in my opinion. So I enjoy this more than I do Nogoa. But because I enjoy Interloper so much, I really like playing Interloper, where it's difficult, but you have some margin of error, where you can make one mistake, recover, and then make another mistake later. You have recovery, even though the recovery is small. And I like that. I like being able to rebound after a mistake, even if there's a very small margin. And that gives you the option to explore and that sort of thing, and take chances to a certain degree. You have to do calculated risks. On Interloper, you have to do calculated risks. On low difficulties, you're a bit more free to do what you want. In Interloper, you do calculated risks. On Misery, you can't really do many calculated risks, because if they backfire, your runner is dead, especially in the late game. So I'm going to try, and Miles says I will make a series about this on YouTube, and I will try and survive as long as I can, hundreds of days if possible. But whether I actually achieve it or not depends a little bit. Realistically, what I think is going to happen, I'm going to start a series. I will survive for a while, then I'll make some sort of mistake and I'll probably die. And then I'll think, okay, now that I did all that, if I do it this way, I probably will do even better. And I'll do it another time, but I probably won't grind it out. Some people grind it until they master it. So I think I can conquer this mode, but whether I will do it is a different question. That's why I say, follow all these other people. They're all great content creators, very good players, and they know how to conquer this mode. Okay. I wasn't really looking at chat there, so let me just have a quick look. Blades, yep. Luck is a little bit involved, yeah. Yeah, 5% constant. Perfect Trip did that. Stims do spawn on Misery, and they work normally, but eventually they stop working, except that you can run with it, basically. Your son will inherit your Misery. Oh, that's great. You should check out Don then when he's streaming. Blades has retired from the Long Dark, and I think content creation in general. But he has a channel where he does like, is it programming or something? But I think he will return for this though. At least he said he was excited about it. I don't know, I'm not going to speak on his behalf. Will I go for the Cougar, a knife and head wrap? Yes, on my main run I will. Not on Misery though. On Misery I think you should never kill the Cougar unless you do it really early, like really early, when you're still able to recover health. Late game, it's absolutely pointless to go for the Cougar in the late game. Absolutely pointless. Can you sharpen the knife? I don't know actually. I never tried. I just went out killing wolves with it. All those things will be revealed in time. Yes, that's Misery. So a little introduction to it. We're all on day 2. You can't cheat death in Misery, and you can't turn off the Cougar either. So yeah, so that's Misery. I would love to play it more, but to really appreciate the extent of mystery mode, we have to get to like day 30 or at least day 40, maybe even day 50. I don't know exactly when the last affliction kicks in, but when the last affliction kicks in, then the game becomes nearly impossible to survive. But nearly impossible is not impossible. So you can survive after that. It's just very, very hard to do it. And I will try on YouTube, I will try. On stream, unless I stream more often, I probably won't try, but we'll see. If I do stream more often, maybe I'll do a mystery run on the stream. And not this one, I don't think. This was just a demonstration run. So yeah, that's mystery for you. Yeah, I mean, the ballistic vests didn't do anything against the Cougar. It was pointless against the Cougar, so yeah. It didn't really do anything. Okay, so we're gonna leave mystery mode here. You will have to walk like 2 feet to make camp at sea. Pretty much, yes. That was one of the things I didn't like about Nogoa. That became a campfire simulator. That's why I made my own difficulty called Intercoper, which was kind of like Nogoa, but with minor health regeneration and a couple other tweaks, which I thought was more interesting, because at least then you could heal, even if it was very, very little. Okay, so I don't think we have time to go into the new region. I'm afraid we can do it another time. But I will say that the new region is very cool. It's very difficult though. So if you decide to spawn here, of course you have to go to the region first before you can spawn here. Oh wow, you spawn indoors in Pilgrim. Oh wow, cool. That was a surprise. Well, anyway, it's a very cool region, but it's very uphill. And you can see, if you see where we are now, right? You see that area like ahead of us, like something to aim with. Okay. There's a broken bridge in the distance there. You can go there. And the areas above it, I don't know if the top part there, but you can go higher than that. You can go really, really high, and this level is a very cool level. It's not as big as you think, but it is pretty big. It's very long, and it gets colder and colder the higher you go. Right now it's -20 and it's morning. And there's timberwolves there. There's some very interesting locations. So I really enjoyed playing it. It's a really cool region. Very hard to survive spawning here, but if you know the map, in some maps, like I said earlier, if you don't know the map, you can survive just fine. But this one, map knowledge helps a lot. It really does. It's a good map though. Very different from any other map. The closest, someone said earlier, it's kind of a marriage between Hashtra Valley and Ash Canyon. Kind of similar to that. But not quite. It's quite brutal. I wouldn't recommend coming here unless you're prepared for it. If you're on your main run, make sure you bring, you know, good clothing and food and matches, and bring a lantern also. A lot of caves there. That is a cool region. Okay. Yeah, it's harder than Sock. I think it's probably the hardest region in the game, but it depends what we mean by hardest though. Is it hardest to spawn in, surviving in general, to explore? Like, what do we mean by that? Loot, you know? It probably is the hardest one without saying too much about it, just because of the cold and the wildlife and the routes you can take. Everything is sort of spread out, so you have less mobility. But yeah, it probably is the hardest. But at least you can't die instantly from gas or something, unless they have it somewhere I didn't go to. Yeah. Does Sunham have more verticality than Ash Canyon? Yes. It is way higher than Ash Canyon. In Ash Canyon, there's really just 3 levels. Well, technically it's just 2 levels. You basically have the lower levels and then the higher levels of the bridges. Just those 2 levels. But then you have these intermediate levels in between, where you have like Homesteader's Respite, and things like Climber's Cave and that sort of thing. That's kind of like the mid levels, but that's not even the high. The high level with the bridge is the highest. This is way higher than Ash Canyon. In Ash Canyon, the bridges are like up there, but here you got stuff all the way up there. This is way worse than that. Yeah, as long as it's not Timberwolves, you'll be okay. Sorry. Hey Malako, nice to see you. Yeah, the upload is fantastic. Really great stuff. Great content. Of course, I played it a while already as one of the playtesters. There was some new stuff though that I didn't know about. Like I didn't know they added tactical gear and that sort of thing. But I didn't play the tail in the early access. I didn't know about that. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to call it there. It's already a bit later than I thought. The time kind of flew away from me here, but I think I'm going to call it here. It was great streaming. Thank you so much for tuning in and for listening to me ramble on about different things, analysis of the different modes and analysis of the Cougar and this and that. It was very fun to do. I hope to stream again soon and either do a mystery run or maybe more of this region or something. I don't know. But I don't know when I'll stream next. I don't know. We have to see. It's harder for me to stream than do YouTube because let's say I say, okay, this evening I'm going to do a YouTube video and I start recording and then 10 minutes in, something happens, like maybe the baby wakes up or something. Then I can just pause what I'm doing and I can do it the next day. If I'm streaming and that happens, it's a bit more complicated. So yeah, it's harder to stream, but it is possible, of course. But thank you so much for tuning in. It was great fun and so great to see all of you, and I'll try and stick around in other people's chat where I can. We'll see though, and thanks for all the mods that were here and everything, and for all the subscriptions and all that stuff. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will probably upload this to my second channel, but we'll see, but probably I'll do that. But before we go, of course, we should raid someone. So let's see who we should raid. So who is on before we go? Yes, one. There is lots and lots and lots of Timberwolves. Okay, so who is streaming? So we got Thomasina, who is fantastic, and I would like to boost Thomasina because she deserves to be a Patreon partner. But before we do, I just want to see if there's someone else on also. Maybe someone small. There's quite a few people on. Yeah, you got Pastor Dave. Pastor Dave's title is Zach is streaming. Why are you watching me? That's a great title. I might have to rate him. That happened to me once. That's in a conference, but we'll do that another time. Yeah, I think we will rate someone smaller, just because I want to support Thomasina by already giving her shout outs and that sort of thing. And it's nice to take advantage. Let's go to Pastor Dave. Pastor Dave is very nice. When I first discovered him, I think he had like 40 followers. How many does he have now?
I think we must have just gotten too far.
224. Well, he's a very nice guy. He's an actual pastor. He's an actual priest. And if you want to include that in the Long Dark, just ask him about the priest in episode 3, and he can give you an analysis of it. I know because I asked him. And he's a very nice person and a good player. So let's go to Pastor Dave. So let's do raid Pastor Dave. Let's make sure it's not Pastor Dave plays. My bad. There we are. He was in chat earlier. He was there earlier. Okay, so we're going to go to Pastor Dave. Again, thank you so much for watching. Hope to stream again soon. Keep an eye out on the channel. Tomorrow, my video on the new region will come out. And then we'll do some more stuff with the new content. Great stuff. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for being awesome and for supporting the channel and my family and for being just wonderful people. And best of luck in your own exploration of this new content. It's amazing. So much to do, so much to try out. Let's go to Pastor Dave.